pool game lore.
What?
Maybe he had a problem getting out of the ocean.
Notoriously terrible at getting out of the pool.
Yeah.
Who wants to introduce it? Do you want me to introduce it?
Yeah, go for it. People like your voice.
Do they? Do they?
I don't know.
I don't
Sure.
know either. I just always take control because I'm a very controlling individual.
I'm just gonna have
I like
to take control.
Twist and mold everybody into my liking.
That's what editing is for.
That's exactly what editing is for. Make everybody else look stupid and make me look awesome.
That's right, Matt.
You sure are funny.
You're quite good at turning meat
Me
on.
All right, anyway, let's go. Welcome to another Extra Joy podcast discussion. Today, we are going to be talking about the Mario RPGs. As requested by David. So, there are 9 RPGs, and we're going to talk about them all. I mean,
Wait, there are 9?
technically, I mean,
Ooh, I don't know if we have time for all that.
Have you noticed that most of our podcasts are David's idea?
yeah.
What? I just like sitting around and talking about bullshit. It's way easier than playing things.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I mean, should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, that's Ricky.
Hi, I'm Ricky.
That's Jess. David's here. It was his idea.
Hello. Hi.
Phil's here. Phil's here. And Don is also here.
Yeah, I'm also here.
Yeah. Is
Ricky
Don
does
here?
Waz Up
Don, where are
anymore.
you?
What?
And then
Can you not hear me?
no, we can hear you.
Okay, gosh,
I'm
jeez.
just being the fuck. And then I'm Matt, and this podcast is off to a great start.
Oh yeah.
They always are.
And so I guess let's start at the beginning with Super Mario RPG: Legend of the Seven Stars, released in 1996 on the Super Nintendo and
On my
developed by
birthday.
Squaresoft. It was released on your birthday.
Yeah, it
No
was
wonder
so
you
exciting.
like it so much.
Yeah,
That's pretty neato.
that's the only reason.
Yeah, the rest of the game sucks.
Yeah, it's terrible. No, on to Paper Mario. No.
And then everyone left.
This game is awesome. It's great. It's one of my favorites. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
It is. The
Oh, on
soundtrack.
Paper Mario.
Yeah. Sound traffic and graphics are amazing. You get to play as Bowser and
Yeah.
Peach,
Yeah.
2 new guys. Lots
Um,
of memorable bosses and areas to explore.
I feel like this was the first game that made Bowser kind of goofy. Like he stopped being a scary, evil turtle man, and
Yeah, he was pretty bumbling in this game.
yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
which would go on to be a theme in the Mario RPGs.
Yeah.
it gave him personality, which is great.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I love the scene when he's at the entrance to Booster's Tower and he sees Mario.
Yeah,
And like he's exhausted in his army at this point. He's just Bowser by himself.
right.
He's trying to be all intimidating. He's like, "What's up?" No, not like that, dummy.
Yeah, just yelling at himself.
Dork. Dork.
Great.
Dork.
Yeah, I think this game's got a lot going for it. I think the writing is,
Oh yeah.
it's some of the best. It's my favorite in the Mario RPG series. Not because it's the only one called Mario RPG and is therefore the only one in its series, but because I just think it has the best writing. It's got, for me, it has the best NPCs. It has some of the best music. It has, really cool enemy design. I just think everything was done really, really well. And even the new characters, the new partners, Gino and Mallow, I think are probably the best of the group. I mean,
They're fantastic. I think they really do fit in. They feel like they belong next to Mario, even though they're
Right.
brand new for this game.
absolutely. And
David, I want to correct you
Go for
for a
it.
second, real quick.
okay,
The Mario and Luigi series is actually called Mario and Luigi RPG in Japan.
all right.
All right.
But Squaresoft definitely like paved the way for Mario RPG series. I mean, it's the first one, obviously, but like,
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like the sort of more active like battle system where you you time your button presses.
Oh yeah.
That's been part of the entire Mario RPG, I guess, genre. I don't know.
Battle system.
I don't know if I should call it a series because they're quite different.
Yeah, there's 3
from each
different
other.
series.
Right,
Yeah.
kind of mashed all together. I think that the timed hits is like the most brilliant thing that they could have done for
Oh,
the series.
it totally is, because when you pitch, you're in 1996 and you're pitching on paper, you know, a Mario RPG, like a game that's about jumping and precise timing, and you're gonna make a game that has none of that and is about picking things from menus. You know, that's a tough sell, and the
Right.
timed hits thing really goes a long way towards energizing it and making it feel more like Mario.
Right. I wish more games would do it because it keeps you interested. All right. So recently I played Bravely Default, and I'm sure you've heard us bitch about that game before. But at a certain point in the game, it just becomes fast forward through every fight. But in Mario RPG, the game kept you interested in the battles because you were active in them. You weren't just mashing buttons to get through it. You had to, get those double jumps and get the critical hit on that lightning bolt, and you wouldn't be able to do that if you were just mashing buttons through the whole thing. So it gave a new layer. It gave, you were an active participant in the game rather than just kind of watching it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about it is that it's not just like to cause more damage with your attacks. Like even Peach's like healing moves, you can actually heal more of your health back if you have proper timing. Or like Geno Boost normally only boosts your attack, but if you have the right timing, you can also boost your defense. It's really in the whole. It's not just the attacks that use these timed hits. It's really built into the whole game.
Was it the first game to have not the first game, like the first JRPG that wasn't just select attack and then watch the guy swing his sword around?
If it wasn't the first, it's easily the one that gets all the credit for it. It's the one that brought it to prominence.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the very first, but
yeah, I don't either, but
it did it very well.
It popularized it.
Even something simple like choosing whether attack or magic, like it depends on the different button that you press. Even something simple like that does more to energize the sort of RPG battle system than just like choosing attack. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like even if you take all the Mario elements out of this game, like Mario and Bowser and Peach and everybody, you still have a lot of great characters. And I don't know if you can say that for the rest of the Mario RPG games. Every NPC, a lot of the villains, Geno and Mallow, are just all really engaging and really interesting. And, I don't know if somebody like Goombario or Lackluster have that same kind of feel.
Lackluster's awesome.
I think you can absolutely say that about Paper Mario 2, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Say, I agree with Matt. It's definitely what David's saying is definitely true of many of the other games, but Thousand Year Door, I think.
I think Thousand Year Door definitely comes closest.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing about like Super Mario RPG that I think is just crazy looking back on it in hindsight, especially because of how things have changed in recent years, is just that marriage of Nintendo and Square is just a very strange thing, because this is right before they broke up. This game came out right before the big leap from Square going over to PlayStation.
Yeah.
This was a year before Final Fantasy VII. Like, this is a year before JRPGs were taken seriously in the United States.
This is like Nintendo waited for one last Christmas to get a present and then broke up with Square right afterward.
Yeah, it also came out just months before the Nintendo 64.
Right.
Yeah, it was
nuts.
very late. The Super Nintendo library.
Which, I mean, helped it in a way, because it was able to, it pushes the graphics, like, to their maximum capability, the music.
Isometric stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great looking game even today.
And it's really clever. All the weapon-based enemies and how everything's kind of ramped up. You have Blooper. Well, let's make Blooper a boss. How about we make it into a giant squid that lives inside of a shell? Or, how about a piranha plant? How about we give it 3 heads and make it into a hydra? And it's just got a lot of really cool things like that. It's like a natural progression of the world. And that's really neat.
I want to ask everybody here a question. When this game very first came out, were you ready to accept it? Because personally, I was not yet.
I didn't know it existed until years later after it came out, so don't ask me.
Okay.
It wasn't released in Europe on the SNES.
I was super excited for it before it came out. I remember looking at ads at magazines and stuff and just anticipating it. I was really excited.
Okay.
The Nintendo 64 was my first Nintendo console that was mine. Like, we had a Nintendo, an NES, that was my dad's, and he just had a bunch of games, random games that he got for cheap at his job. And then I had a Sega Genesis, and I didn't get a Nintendo 64 until years after it came out. So like,
Okay.
that period of time between the NES and Nintendo 64, like 1998, for me, there was no Nintendo. So like I had a friend who had a Super Nintendo, and he had Super Mario World, he had Super Mario World 2, he had Mega Man X, and he had ActRaiser. That was Nintendo. That was my Nintendo experience.
That's a pretty good group of games.
Yeah, for real.
So Super Mario RPG, I did not find out about until I got the internet and started using like
crazy.
Mario websites and learned. The first thing I learned about it was Geno and Mallow, and I was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" So I looked into that and learned more and more about it, and I was like, man, I really want to play this. And then when I finally got my Super Nintendo, years after it was relevant, when I was a diehard Nintendo fan, we were at Game Crazy, and my mom was like, all right, well, you can get one game with it, and they had Super Mario RPG, which at the time was only like $25. Now it goes for like $60.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was like, this is kind of expensive. Why don't you get like, they had like Mario Kart or something. It was like $10. And I was like, no, I really want to play this one. So
Right.
that was actually my
That's awesome.
second Super Nintendo game, because when I ordered it on eBay, All Stars came with it. So.
Oh,
Cool.
Nice.
pretty
That's like 5 games in one.
I know.
I got
right?
I got my copy because after it came out, I begged my parents for it. I put it on my Christmas list, and my grandfather actually got it for me and sent it to me, and I was super excited about it. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite games. It's actually the only Super Nintendo game that I still have the box for. Because I just, I love that cover art, and I just stuck it in a file somewhere and shoved it into the back of, a drawer, and it was there for years and years and years until I just went through all my stuff and found it.
Cover is kind of terrible now. Like the 3D
I don't know.
models on the front are awful.
Right.
They're
But,
awful.
3D Mario is such a cool thing that
I think there's still a charm to it.
there is. I love the style.
There is a charm to
Oh,
it,
very
but
much so.
I think even like the Donkey Kong Country renders look
Are
better.
better,
I
yeah.
love those
Yeah.
too.
I thought you were going to say the Donkey Kong Country cartoon.
No, nobody would.
You already know that. That's
Nobody would
Nope.
say that. Now on
I
DVD.
also kind of want to credit this game for bringing back Birdo, because this was the first time we'd seen Birdo since the very first game she was in,
She was
right?
in Wario's Woods.
Oh, that's true too. Never mind.
I
And-
just,
It's-
go ahead.
I was going to say that Booster is kind of prototypical Wario in a way, and I feel like a lot of what Wario became started with Booster.
Well,
Wasn't
in
Wario
terms of the
1992?
man-child aspect, I would agree. But I think Wario already existed well before.
Yeah.
Oh, he did,
Wario was
but
92.
he didn't really have
Yeah.
much personality beyond Evil Mario at that point.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I could
Yeah,
see
it
that.
would.
Yeah, I mean, the only games I think the only games he was in at that time were the Wario Land games, like 2 of them maybe, and then Wario's Woods. So
Yeah.
they hadn't been doing the sports games at this point. So
I just want to touch on what I was talking about earlier. How like when I first played this game, like when it was first released, I was not ready for it yet. Like I had never really played an RPG before, and when I jumped into this one trying to play it, even though this is a great Babby's first RPG,
it might be the
Great
best
job.
Babby's first RPG,
yeah,
other than like
I think-
Pokemans.
I agree. Like I think anybody who's like never played an RPG and is looking to play one, this is a perfect place to jump in. But
not Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
So
even
that
then, shut up. Even then, like when I first played it, I was like, "This is weird." I don't really. You open up in Bowser's Castle, and I just wasn't ready for it yet. And it wasn't until like my mom and I played Final Fantasy VII together, almost in its entirety. That was basically my first like complete RPG that I completed. Which
That's
is
funny.
why I have such nostalgia for that game. But like after that, I was like, okay, I kind of see what's up now, and I went back and played Super Mario RPG. That was like the first thing I did after we beat FF7, and I'm so glad I did because obviously it's fantastic, like we've said. I think that it's a pretty. I would not be surprised to learn that it's a common thing where people check this game out when it first was released and just weren't, ready to handle that kind of game.
Blowing your mind
Yeah.
a little bit.
I wanted to ask, not you, Ricky, but I wanted to ask Phil. Like you said, this game didn't come out in Europe until it was released on the Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Did you play it like on an emulator before that?
No, I've never played it.
You've never played it, even now that it's on
Yeah.
the Virtual Console.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've never played it.
oh, well, I guess we'll get your input from later games. But speaking of the Virtual Console,
highly recommend it.
yeah, speaking of the Virtual Console, I think it's awesome that this game came to the Virtual Console because,
Yeah.
For many years it was kind of obscured a little bit. I think.
Yeah, it was
it
kind
had
of
like,
forgotten.
It had like a fan following, obviously,
Yeah.
for since it came out. But in terms of like Nintendo didn't pay any attention to it. Mallow and Gino have still yet to be in anything since, nor have any of the other characters. Like, and
they were gonna be in Brawl though for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then that like Square breakup that happened, like it just kind of fell to obscurity. And I'm glad that people got to experience it again when they added it to the Virtual Console in 2008. I think that's awesome.
Me too, especially since it became so expensive. I'm really glad that it became easily accessible. It's like Earthbound, where people wouldn't have really played it otherwise.
And,
yeah,
like,
I'm really
Trigger.
glad that like people were able to play it on Virtual Console for the first time. I'm pretty sure that's where Josh played it for the first time.
I guarantee you that's where Josh played it for the first time.
Yeah, and I know like he loves that game, so like that's great. You know, I encourage everybody who's never played the game, Phil, to check it out.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's even now I think it's funny.
Oh yeah, when you were talking about the sense of humor before, I really wanted to mention the. There's so many like RPG sort of fourth wall jokes.
Right.
They have a lot of fun with the like characters walking into you gag.
Yeah.
They do a lot of like funny little twists on that. Like characters aren't ready, or they bump into Mario, or they're like they fall down.
Yeah, or everybody bursts out at once, and
yeah,
it's really silly.
They have a lot of fun with sort of some RPG fourth wall stuff like
You kind
that.
of have to. It's Mario. You can't take Mario like seriously. Like you couldn't make a serious Mario RPG. Final Fantasy VII couldn't be.
Yeah.
With Mario characters. I don't think.
If you think about the Mario games we had before this, it was just Mario through World, and then like the land games, and this is
Super Mario Kart.
I feel like this is the first what?
And Super Mario Kart, where
Right.
Mario's go-karting with Bowser. It's kind
So
of
this is
silly.
the first time we got to explore the Mushroom Kingdom, and the first time I think that the world was really given any kind of identity. So
Yeah.
I think that's really neat
This
that
is the
they had
first
such
game-
fun with it.
This is the first game that even like tackled the actual how the royalty and how the kingdom is governed. You know,
Right.
like Peach isn't just a figurehead in this game. We actually get to see some of her retainers and the Chancellor and stuff.
Her name's also not
and-
Peach in this game.
Yeah, this
well-
was the last game where she was known as Princess Toadstool.
Yeah, that's true. But still, like, I think that was pretty neat.
It is very neat. I have a really weird kind of sensory thing with this game, where you know how certain smells remind you of things sometimes.
Sure.
When this game was coming out, I remember that I was in middle school, and there was some work going on in one of the buildings, and they had like wet tar out there. And so now, whenever we would go out there and we would talk about the game and how far we got and all the stuff we found. And so whenever I smell wet tar somewhere, I just think of Super Mario RPG now, and that's really strange. But
All right.
I just wanted to share that.
Fruit salad.
Whenever you throw up, do you think of Earthbound?
This game stinks. This game stinks. We should.
I'm just going to keep telling really weird stories on these.
This podcast about how terrible the marketing was for Earthbound.
That's a different podcast.
Save that for
What marketing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's another
Rest in fucking pieces.
UK
Earthbound.
joke. He didn't get that over there either.
Oh yeah.
You probably know this just because of internet osmosis, Phil, but the slogan for Earthbound in North America was "This game stinks."
It was like a scratch and sniff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Master Belch.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Terrible.
That's like
It's so
it's
stupid.
the worst. Like, ugh. Okay. Anyway, back to Mario RPG.
It's such a minor character. That's like if they had marketed this game with like Bellome, and he was the face of the marketing. It's just one random boss who doesn't do anything. Anyway. So
Well,
yeah,
I think they were trying. It was the '90s. They were trying to capitalize on like the gross out humor, like Ren and Stimpy, I think.
yeah, maybe.
And they took like the one scene in the game that had that. I don't know.
The whole game's like this, guys. There's no existential
Yeah.
crises at all.
No.
Dealing with death doesn't happen. All barf jokes.
Barf. Also,
I wanted to bring up Earthbound because like this game, Earthbound and like Chrono Trigger were like the holy trinity
the Holy
of
Trinity.
RPGs for the Super Nintendo.
Well,
I
and,
don't know.
and
Final Fantasy 4,
Oh,
5,
excuse me.
and 6.
Final
I meant
Fantasy
like
what?
at the end of the lifespan for
Okay.
the Super Nintendo.
That's fair.
But did you not get any of those games either, Phil? What did you get in the UK? What came out
But
there?
we didn't get Chrono Trigger.
Super Mario World.
We got Terranigma, and that was about it as
Oh,
far as
we actually
RPGs
did.
go.
We didn't get Terranigma, so
Wow. Man, JRPGs really didn't matter in countries outside of Japan.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII was pretty much the first JRPG anyone in Europe ever played.
wow.
It was pretty much the first that anybody in America played, but
It came out in Europe as Final Fantasy 1, actually.
no, it didn't.
So yeah, Super Mario RPG, great game.
It's great.
Better
Holds
than
up.
Better than
Play it.
Earthbound.
I would say I don't know. I like it more than Earthbound, but it definitely plays it safe. It's
Yeah,
it's crazy
I
and
think as a game, it's
just-
better than Earthbound.
That's what Matt means is it's just more fun. Like
Yeah, it's way more
Earthbound
fun.
is an amazing game that everybody should play, but like as a game, like mechanically what you do, it's kind of really boring.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
yes, very hard. I don't think Super Mario RPG is hard at all. I think it's pretty
It's-
easy.
It's not meant to.
Yeah, it's Babby's first RPG, which is great. It does that job excellently.
Unless you find like
Um,
Kulix,
Well, I'm saying like even like
great guy.
just
If you-
because it's simple and like easy doesn't mean that it's not rewarding or you still get invested in it, you know.
And there's so many secrets in Mario RPG.
Oh god,
There's
yeah.
so much stuff. Like they have all those hidden boxes, and you can do the jump challenge and all the frog coins and
Hidden bosses, hidden armor.
Yeah.
Great Guy Casino is still one of the most like well hidden things in gaming. I think.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I don't know how anybody was supposed to find that without like a guide.
Right.
You know?
It's crazy how much content is in this game.
Yeah. If
It's
you want to see
great.
it all, go watch our Let's Play of it.
Yeah, we did play this game. It was one of our earlier Let's Plays, but I think it's still really
Still
good.
one of my
stuff.
favorites.
Yeah.
Might still be my favorite. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it's up there. I think it's great. I love this game.
I don't think I was there for it.
I don't think you were. Go watch it.
I think it's good. I do a reasonably good job of showing off the game. You know,
Not very
sometimes
good
I
at jumping
just
up things, but it's all right.
no. I miss a lot of frog coins because I can't jump. But,
Oh, R.I.P. Frog Coin.
anyway, that's my RPG. It's great.
A plus.
Play it.
And then Mario RPG was followed up a few years later. 4 years later?
2000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 years
so
later.
4 years.
On the Nintendo 64 with what was originally supposed to be like sort of a sequel to Super Mario RPG,
Its
I believe.
working title was Super Mario RPG
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it,
So
Legend
you know,
of 7 Other
yeah,
Stars.
there was a fallout with Square and everything, and it ended up becoming Paper Mario. A
Yep.
very unique take on the RPG genre.
The Japanese name is Mario Story, I believe.
Yeah, Mario
Yeah.
Story in
Mario
Japan.
Story.
The worst thing that happened to this game during development is that it lost Poochie.
Yeah, what happened to Poochie? That's the worst thing that happened to life.
You had to go to his home planet.
So, I like Paper Mario, but it's also it feels shallow to me. I don't know what it is. Like the characters don't seem as fun as Mario RPG, and the weapons and the accessories and stuff are just kind of, I don't know. There's a million badges, but it doesn't feel the same to me. It doesn't feel as nice as, you know, matching up armor and your weapon and a cool accessory or something like that.
It is a very different. Super Mario RPG played it very like traditional, where you have your armor and you have your weapon and you have your accessory, and they do these different effects. And Paper Mario went for a very different system. It really doesn't have armor or weapons. You kind of, it's like it's all bad, like you said. But I think that the system works. You know, just because it's different, I don't think that it's inferior to Mario RPG.
The thing that
No,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that just real quick. I think that Paper Mario suffers a lot from the syndrome where people are like, "Oh, the second one's so much better. Just play that instead."
Well,
Yeah.
that's,
And
I mean, that's true.
that's true. Like I can't argue that, but I think the first game often gets overlooked because of that, and it's not fair because the first game's great.
It's good.
I
Yeah.
ate it up when it first came out. I was completely enamored by it.
I think.
Yeah, I love the first Paper Mario.
I think the thing that Paper Mario does better than Super Mario RPG is the overworld elements. Like, there's a lot of like interaction with the world, like with the way you use your partners to like you can use
That's true.
Bombette to like blow open walls, and you can use power
Grab stuff.
power
Yeah.
carry to carry you across pits and all that kind of stuff. And I just think that's a very neat system that's not really used in very many RPGs. Just like the timed hit system isn't used in very many RPGs except this one.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool system, and I like the partner
Yeah.
system in this game and its sequel.
I like the partner system, but I think that the personalities are just. I'm gonna say it. I think that the characters are a bit flat.
Well, I mean, that's an awful joke. In this,
It wasn't a joke. It was just. I think there's not much there. I think that the like Mallow and Gino and even Booster and Valentina are way more interesting than any of these characters, and I don't know.
in the first game,
I think-
sure, but
Yeah, they are.
I think there's still some to like. I really like Watt, and
Watt is
I
fantastic.
think Watt's
yes.
fun.
Cooper.
I think the villains are more interesting, really. Like I think
Yeah, Cammy Koopa is fantastic.
Cammy's great. I like General Guy. I like
General
the,
Guy is hilarious.
Koopa
The Koopa
brothers.
are great.
I like
I
Tubba
like-
Blubba.
Tubba Blubba is probably my favorite because he's such a. He's
Dude, Tubba
he's
Blubba's
built.
Douche.
He's built up as this like invincible monster that's
Yeah.
just like.
Well,
so
yeah, the invincible Tubba Blubba.
Yeah, and like he's very intimidating, and then you find his weakness, and he turns into this sad sack. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tubba Blubba's a great character, and like Bo, I like a lot, and her butler, Bootler.
Bootler. Yep.
His name is Bootler. Like,
Boot-
I definitely, I'm with you that like Mario RPG had a better, more memorable cast of characters, but I don't think that completely invalidates. I still think Paper Mario did a fine job.
It did a fine job. I think that I think Paper Mario's parts are better than the sum of its whole.
Mm,
No?
maybe.
I fucking love Paper Mario. Show your face.
Yeah, I love Paper Mario.
I just think it's a great game. One of my favorite things about both all the like turn-based Paper Mario games, is how small the numbers are. Phil actually
Yeah.
wrote an article about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So- You want to say a word or two about that, Phil?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually played it, but I've seen enough from Super Mario RPG that it's an RPG. So you go into a fight, and if you do like 16 damage one round and then 18 damage the next, like it really doesn't matter. Like enemies, it'll take 2 rounds to kill, but with Paper Mario or the entire Paper Mario series, like you start off, you do like 2 damage a hit, and then when you finally, after like 5 hours or whatever, you get like a new hammer, and now you do 3 damage a hit. Like, it's a pathetic increase, but it means so much because every enemy has so little health, and you have so little health that when you get slight upgrades, or if you find a badge that lets you double your attack if you're at low health, it gets so much more out of so less in terms of just pure mathematics.
Yeah.
I think it's much better to have that sort of system.
Yeah, because you can get to a certain point, like in the Final Fantasy games, where the difference between doing 6,000 damage and 9,999 damage, it's like, who cares? You're doing
Yeah.
so much at that point that whatever, it's not a big deal, and none of the enemies are going to stand up to it anyway. So no, I think you make a good point. That lower damage output really kind of changes the outlook of the game.
It's much
That
easier
was
to
the
follow.
skill flaw as well.
Yeah, what I like about it a lot is that you can know how much damage you're going to do, and you can form a plan around that. You're like, okay, this guy's got 20 HP. I can do 5 in one turn,
Yeah,
So I got to hit him 4 times. Oh shit!
use a mushroom.
He's healed himself once. You can adjust your plan on the fly, and I think the small numbers really go a long way towards that.
It also makes the timed hits more important.
Yeah,
That's true. Some things that this game did do that I really liked was it gave some of the enemies really high defense, so that if your attack was too low, you couldn't do any damage to them with physical attacks, and you had to think of different ways to do it. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I really like that whole, like, some enemies have spikes on their heads, so you can't jump on them.
Yeah, I
Or
thought
some
that
enemies
was
have spikes in front, so you can't hammer them. Like, some enemies change between those two patterns, and you
Yeah.
have to, like, adjust.
I always thought that was really smart.
Yeah, I think that system is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It's so easy to pick up and understand, which makes Paper Mario another great Babby's first RPG.
Maybe even better than Mario RPG, honestly. Like,
Because the presentation is very babby as well.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the
Like it
presentation
is actually
fantastic.
like a baby's pop-up book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I've always figured that was the idea, for like having small numbers. Like the little kid can handle smaller numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7, 8, 9,
it
10.
lowers
I'm saying.
the
Yeah.
floor, but also raises the ceiling. It's the best system.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah.
fight anyone who tries to say otherwise.
No, I do. I really like all of the Paper Mario games. How they use the small numbers like that, and they use these systems that are different. They're not typical for RPGs, but they make it work in the game that they've built, and I admire them so much for that.
Yeah. I think no, I think you're absolutely right, and it really cultivated a really different gaming experience, especially for RPGs. I played a lot of RPGs growing up, and the ones that have low damage output, I don't know, I really got into them. Like even the Shining Force games, you get maybe 50 HP through that game, and I like the low numbers because things feel more dire, and it feels better when you get a critical hit and you do, double digits or even a triple digit attack,
Yeah, the numbers actually mean something.
Right.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. One thing that kind of I get disappointed in both the Mario RPGs or the Paper Marios and the Mario and Luigi games is that once you've played one, you already know what your upgrades are going to be for your weapons. And one of the coolest things about RPGs is getting new weapons. And in this, you're going to have the regular hammer, the super hammer, the ultra hammer, and that's it. And there's no variation. And I don't know, that kind of bummed me out because I like having options.
Yeah, but you have the badges where you can
yeah.
like throw your hammer, or you can turn your hammer like
Quake hammer.
Yeah, you can hit the floor and everything moves. You can have the jump where you jump on one enemy and then onto the next one and then onto the next one, or you can have the badge where you jump on the first enemy as many times as you tap the button. I think that variation is there. Just because the weapon doesn't change, like it's still a hammer, it's still Mario jumping. It doesn't change from a frying pan to an umbrella to whatever. Doesn't mean that it's not there.
No, you're right. Maybe I just like the visual of whacking something with a frying pan. So yeah, I think I think it convinced me that Paper Mario may not necessarily be a lesser game. Like it has a lot of the same elements. It just it took a different approach to it.
It definitely did, and I was just at the right age, I think, where I fully, we already had Mario RPG. That game is great. It still exists. I can still play that if I want to play that again. So I admired Paper Mario for doing something similar but very different.
Yeah. And Paper Mario, I think, also has a smaller scale than Mario RPG because you're kind of saving the world in Mario RPG. And then Paper Mario keeps it a little more local.
Yeah, the villain is Bowser again for the only time in the Paper Mario series. But I really like that about the first Paper Mario is that it's a smaller. It feels like Paper Mario 1 to me feels more like what I expected Mario RPG to be, not in terms of the quality of the game or the mechanics, but just in the okay, you're gonna do an RPG starring Mario. Like I would expect if I was pitched that, I'd be like, okay, so Bowser's gonna be the bad guy and he's gonna be trying to do something. Just the sort of smaller story of it is, I think, kind of more. I don't know.
I feel like that's also maybe a little bit of a hindrance because Bowser is consistently the best part of these Mario RPG games. And if he ends up being the villain, you spend a lot of time away from him, and you don't get to really see him shine.
Oh, but you so do.
Come back to it. Yeah, like you play as Peach and stuff, and she gives him stick.
Yeah, like between every chapter, you get to play as Peach, which is really cool. But you get to see Bowser being ridiculous. You get to read his journal where he talks about how he's too scared to talk to Peach. You do get a lot of Bowser. We'll get to this later.
That's still one of my favorite bits about the game.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We'll get to this later, but the
gigantic nerd.
The Mario RPG that has not enough Bowser in it is not this one.
All right.
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I think I know which one you're going to go for.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the one with Bowser in the title.
No, that one has plenty of Bowser.
That one has just the right amount of Bowser.
It's Sticker Star. Sticker Star has no Bowser in it.
Oh, I see. I totally forgot about that game. So
I like
Sticker
Star.
You like my nuts?
Okay, all right. We'll duke it out later, I guess.
What's next?
Yeah, for now, let's move on to the third Mario RPG series.
Oh man, did it really come out like that? Like one
It
and then
did.
the other? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it again follows the same sort of the groundwork that Super Mario RPG set up, but made it something completely different, which is something I admire about all three of the Mario RPG
Yeah, all three
series.
Yeah.
They're very
Yeah.
different and yet very similar at the same time, and
Mhm.
I think that works very well. But I'm talking about Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Like both Mario RPG and Paper Mario, it uses the timed hits, and it is an RPG. But it's go ahead, man. It's got a very different sort of
There's
formula.
I got Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga when it first came out because I was very excited for that game. This was at the point where I was able to handle games like that and was a big Nintendo fan. And one of the things that makes Mario and Luigi is it completely forgoes that partner system set up in the other two games, and it's just Mario and Luigi. And you're exploring the overworld with Mario in front with Luigi behind you, and one button controls Mario, one button controls Luigi. You have to like solve puzzles in tandem. Like Mario will jump to hit this block while you press another button to make Luigi hammer something, or you have to hit Mario with the hammer as Luigi to make him shrink in size. And the battle system requires Mario and Luigi to work as a team, and like the enemies have tells telling you which enemy or which brother it's going to attack, and it's such a different RPG.
Yeah.
And I really admire that about it. I think of like Paper Mario, Super Mario RPG, and Mario and Luigi, I think I would say it's my least favorite,
Yeah.
but I don't think that makes it less of a game.
No, I think it was really ambitious, and again, I like a lot of the characters that it introduced. I think that Queen Bean is a great character. I think Peasley is a great character.
Prince Peasley is the best character from that
He
game.
really is.
I like
He's
Popple.
Popple's great, but like Prince Peasley is so like because this game takes place in the Bean Kingdom. It's not in the Mushroom Kingdom, so
Which is awesome. I like
It
seeing
is.
their neighbors. You know.
it is great. But what's cool about it that we've never really seen in a game before this is a game in which Mario and Luigi are like not such hot shit. They're kind of like, oh, you're just some foreigners. That's cool.
Mario
welcome.
and Green Guy.
Green Mario.
Yeah, like in like Mario RPG and Paper Mario, every NPC that you talk to is like, "Hey, you're Mario, you're amazing."
Uh-huh.
And in this game, it's very much like some of them don't even know who you are. And there's this Prince Peasley character who's like the Mario of the Bean Kingdom. Like everybody loves him. He's like this amazingly handsome. Like he has like an animation where he just like sways his like long, luxurious.
got-
And there's
He's got
and there's the
Fabio
lens
hair.
flare and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I love seeing something like that.
I would
And
love for him to come back in a new game.
Absolutely, dude.
I think Peasley's fantastic.
I do too. What was it?
Yeah.
gonna say?
It also has Fawful though.
Yeah, one of the worst characters. Everybody
See, I don't
fucking
hate
loves
Fawful like you guys
though.
do.
Everybody loves
I-
Fawful. They're all wrong, but
I think Fawful's a perfect side character.
I just realized it's been a while since Matt has like ranted about Fawful at all. It's been
Why don't
long.
Why don't you tell the folks why you don't like Fawful?
he's just annoying. All he does is spout things that would become memes, and it's just I hate Fawful. I don't want to.
He's
Yeah.
like my problem with Fawful is he's the like zenith of the whole like I'm being random on the internet, like those god awful like Control Alt Delete strips with like Chef Brian or whatever, where he's just like let's kill squirrels, blah, 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 I'm random, I'm saying things that make no sense. Like that shit is so terrible and not funny. Like
I have
Fawful
fury.
Fawful is that joke, your mustard of doom will be spread on my sandwich. I'm random. It's just
He's Invader Zim.
Yeah,
no, man.
he even looks like Invader Zim.
God, don't ruin Invader Zim for me.
I don't really
Smart.
like Invader Zim either.
I don't mean the character. I mean the show was smartly written, and it,
Right.
there was humor that was built there. But
Yeah.
I can't stand.
Yeah,
Fawful.
I don't like Fawful. I like Cagletta just fine.
I think she's alright.
She's alright.
Yeah, I think she's a cool villain.
she starts
She's scary.
the long-running tradition of Bowser being
Hijacked.
taken over by
Yeah.
the villains in Mario
Which is
and
so
Luigi.
played out now, but
It's been
at the time it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
I think that one place where this game does suffer, though, is definitely the non-player characters. Because aside from Peasley and Queen Bean and, Popple, who do you really have?
Blablanodon.
Blablanodon?
Blablanodon.
The Christmas tree crap.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, he's a holiday tree. You can't say Christmas tree.
Oh shit.
I like the Jellyfish Sisters. They're neat.
They're lazy. I mean, the
Yeah.
Jellyfish Sisters and the Hammer, Sledge, and Mallet, they're lazy, and the
Starshade
Star guys and the Element guides and Cork and Cass, they're all variations on the same characters. They're just deviations of Mario and Luigi, and that's lame. That's stupid. You don't have those cool, unique characters. There's no Booster in this game. There's no Jinx. There's no really neat. I mean, you get Egad, who's great.
But he's not from.
No.
But Peasley.
Yeah, that's true. Peasley kind of does go my argument.
He's fantastic. I think Prince Peasley is so great. But you're right. He can't carry the game on his own. I mean, you're right. There are a lack of memorable NPCs.
Yeah, I do like that they're not all just mushroom characters, though. I like that we get to see what the pea people and the bean people look like.
Yeah, they have kind of their own laws and culture. It's cool to explore a new area like that.
I really like. I like this about all the games because I'm a sucker. I like all the enemies in the game. I think the game has cool enemies.
Yeah, they had the viruses.
Yeah, the viruses
from
the Koopalings.
The Koopalings came back after however long.
Yeah.
Just for no reason.
Oh my god,
right.
yeah, dude.
No dialogue, nothing. They just popped up.
And then disappeared again for a few years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get a cart fix.
Seems to be a thing of theirs.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about we've talked a little bit about how one button controls each brother, but the battle system in this game is really deep. Because you have all these bros moves that you can do where Mario will jump on Luigi's head and they'll spin around. But if you press you have commands where you can press a button at the right time and they'll do this thing, they'll do this move. But there are so many little variations that are secret that you have to find on your own by pressing the button at a different time or a slightly different timing, where instead of slamming Luigi into the ground, you'll just roll him in a ball or something and it makes the battle system really you really get to experiment with it, which I think is really cool and is something that was not really in any of the previous Mario RPGs.
No, that's cool. One thing, though, again, which kind of turns me off of this game a little bit, is that once again you're looking for 7 different colored star-related objects, and it's just come on, do something different.
That's just
Please
that's
do
an
something
RPG
different.
thing, though. At this point,
It's a Mario RPG thing. There's no other series where it's just now collect 7 stars. It's the same plot in every Mario RPG, and I want that to change so badly. I want something new.
That's Mario, you collect stars.
When we get to Super Paper Mario, you collect hearts instead of stars.
Oh, that's totally.
And there's 8 of them.
Yeah,
it's totally different. Well then,
We don't know.
my argument is dead.
Yeah.
no, I feel you. I feel you, man. But it's whatever.
Hey, Matt.
Yo, what's up?
Remember when I wrote that story about Mario RPG games?
I do remember that. I don't remember anything about it except for that you wrote it.
I don't remember anything else either.
Yeah. It was gonna be
That was
like a
fun.
Flash animation.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I remember though? I remember Mario and Luigi styled sprites was
Oh my
fad.
God. It
on
was
Pixel
huge.
Panda.
It was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was done in that style
Yeah,
because it was easy.
Star Power, please come back.
because it was easy, or because
It looked good.
it wasn't
looked
easy.
good and
It
it
does.
was easy.
It's a really good looking sprite game. So
Yeah, the animation is
style.
very smooth and crisp. And
Yeah.
looks really sweet.
If you're gonna copy something, copy the greats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so far all 3 series have been really different takes on similar subjects, and it's really cool to see that all 3 have done such wildly different things. This is the first time we got to play as Luigi in a Mario RPG, and that's awesome. And Luigi is absolutely the star of this show. He is so funny.
He is, yeah. Just in the first Superstar Saga alone, he gets to dress up as Peach.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a whole little chapter where he's on his own and he's all afraid of everything. And
And then he gets hypnotized into thinking that he's Mario, so he'll be brave.
yeah, they have so much fun with that. All 3 series have such a wonderful sense of humor.
Yeah.
To where even like the games that aren't so good are worth playing because there's funny stuff in them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think that these are Luigi's games. He's brilliant in all three of them.
4.
4? What?
There's 4.
There's
there
more.
are
One
4 now.
for the
Oh shit! I forgot there was a 4th one.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay. Anyway, Matt, you were talking about for Paper Mario, like the partners, they like, it does a better job of like in the overworld having like interactivity than Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, and that's something that they do really well in all 4
Of Mario and
Mario
Luigi
Luigi
games.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in the first one, you brought up Bros moves, and I like how the Bros moves were the things that you would like use to navigate the overworld. You know, like you'd spin on top of Mario and stuff like that to like helicopter across.
Totally.
Yeah, it was just really cool.
I do really like that. I really like how all of the Mario RPGs introduce platforming elements to the overworld. You know, most like turn-based RPGs, when you're in the overworld, you can't even jump at all. And there's a lot of jumping in all of the Mario RPGs to explore the areas and, you know, to sort of make it feel more like a Mario game. And I think they're all pretty successful in that regard. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that's neat.
Also, Mario and Luigi, one of the few games where you see the Mario Brothers plumbing.
Yeah. That is true.
That's great. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there are like puzzles where you have to like push pipes into place. Like I think it's under the castle.
Yeah.
Bean Land.
That old lady tells you what to do.
Yeah.
That's great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
What's the next game?
so far we have 3 very unique series, all with very distinct personalities and gameplay style, and now we're finally getting a sequel to one of them. In the form of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, released 1 year after Mario and Luigi on the Nintendo GameCube. And this is my favorite of all of the games we're talking about today,
Same.
Yeah.
because I
think
think
it's
this
a
game is
great choice.
fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, I think this game has a lot going for it. I think as far as greatness on the scale of Mario RPG games, this one comes the closest to being, you know, to getting to that Mario RPG level where everything is just right. The characters are all a lot more distinct, and the NPCs are goofy, like Flavio, and
Flavio is great.
Pennington is great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pennington was awesome. I loved him.
There are a lot of really good characters in this
All
game.
the characters on that train in that one chapter are
Yeah.
so much fun. And Rock Hawk is
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I really like Jolene. Like
Oh yeah, Jolene.
all the characters in this game, NPC or partner or otherwise, I think are really memorable and fun.
They're very full of personality,
Mhm.
and I
Writing.
think that's like story-wise. I think that's a really big strength of this game.
The writing and especially the localization, I think,
Yeah.
are absolutely top notch in this game.
hmm
I think that Vivian is just as good as any character in any of the games. I think she's
Vivian's
absolutely
fucking
wonderful, and
Yeah. She is. She has an arc. She, you know,
Vivian is my favorite character from that game.
she's probably mine.
I would not mind seeing her again. I want.
no,
her.
absolutely not. She's great.
I mean, you really feel sorry for her when
Yeah.
she's constantly getting jerked around by the other sirens, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you're already kind of rooting for her to, like, get away from there, and then, you know, of course, she winds up joining your party, which is
Right.
awesome.
And I
So-
think the coolest part is that she's the first partner that you get who's not really derivative of anything else in the Mario
Well,
world.
what's
She's
Flurry?
she looks like Ludwig von Koopa, so
That's not.
I forgot about Flurry because who the fuck remembers Flurry?
Flurry is
Flurry.
hilarious. I love Flurry.
Flurry's great.
Another one of my favorite things about Thousand Year Door that I'm reminded of because we're talking about Flurry. I love how like every lady in the game has like super hots for Mario, like Miss Mouse and Flurry, and like they're all like super digging the mustache and everything. I think that's
Yeah.
really funny.
Well, one of the things I really love about Flurry is just how over the top dramatic she is. I love that about her. So she's so funny and memorable in that way. I love Flurry.
I think Bobbery is a pretty neat character.
Bobbery is the fucking best.
Bobbery's funny.
Yeah.
I like his
Bobbery's
little
got, like,
arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a tragic backstory.
Right,
Like,
it's crazy.
Sad, man. Like I
Yeah.
legit cried when I played like through that bit of
He's-
game. It was sad.
I think a lot of care went into the partner characters in this
See,
game.
I'm an
Even, like,
asshole because I don't
yeah.
remember what his backstory is.
he lost his wife like at sea,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
and,
fucked up.
and like he gave up sailing because of that, you know, and like
Yeah, the story was that his wife got sick and passed away while he was at sea, and he gave up sailing because he regretted like
Not being
missing
with her. Yeah.
where she died.
So wait,
Yeah.
I'm assuming she was also a bomb. So did she just like explode? And
Probably.
she's just laying in her house sniffling. She's like, I don't think I'm going to make it through the night. And then it's just a nice, quiet cityscape, and just boom.
nah, man, Bombette and Bobbery can come back after exploding.
Yeah, that's true. They can.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, this game definitely got the closest to having those really well-written characters like Gino and Mallow, though. And I think that's fantastic. And
I would argue that like Vivian and possibly Bobbery, mostly just Vivian though. I would argue she even surpasses Gino in terms of like her.
Gino,
her-
yeah, I really like Mallow's arc, though.
Yeah, Mallow's arc is great. I'm just saying, like, I love Gino. He's a fucking badass, but
Right.
he's, you know, there's not a whole lot to him.
No,
He's
there's
trying-
not.
He's trying to save his home, and he's trying to save, you know, the world, and he possesses a puppet. Like, Vivian has this whole, you know, she's got like psychological
Sorry.
abuse issues. you know,
Right.
Like, I just feel like she's a more realized character. Than
Yeah, and she's
Yeah,
really
there was a lot that went into making you like understand and care about her.
yeah.
So-
I love her. I would love for her to come back in a different game.
Absolutely.
Easy.
I'd
You
like
know-
to see all the Shadow Sirens again, personally. I don't like two of them, but I would like to see at least Vivi.
Dupless.
Dupless
Yeah,
was a lot of.
Dupless is great, man.
He's still a fan favorite.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
he's fantastic. Well, I love how, like late in the game, he becomes a Shadow Siren, and
Yeah.
he becomes the one that gets shit on all the time. You know,
Yeah,
like
and he
Big
can't
shit.
teleport, so he has to just chase them around everywhere.
yeah, oh, so great.
And
So
poor,
funny.
like Beldum is like shitting all over him too,
Yeah.
like just calling him like Freak Sheet and Freak of the Sheet, and
Yep.
like never using his name,
Yeah,
never
I think-
actually using his name.
I think Brodus is great, and I think what's his name? The other guy,
Crump.
Crump. He's
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Crump-
I think Grodus is a little boring, but Crump is amazing. He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Crump steals the show every time he's on screen.
yeah, he's
I-
so funny.
I love when he breaks the fourth wall to tell you on the pirate ship that it's really him, and he's
Hey,
not just
don't tell
a-
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tell that to him. He goes, listen, I know it's really obvious who I am, but don't tell Mario. Like I said, the love of the thing is
It's awesome. I
I
also love
like,
that
how
this game.
I like how your partners react to that as well.
Yeah. I like that this game throws a curveball, and instead of having Bowser as the final boss, Peach is the final boss.
Yeah, that is so cool. Like, I think that's a really unique story.
It's so cool.
Like, this is really, like, if you really look at it and sort of dissect all the other Mario games, I think this is the first time ever there's, like, a reason Peach is kidnapped. Like,
Mhm.
they actually need her for something. You know, other than just, like, Bowser having a boner for her. But, like,
Right.
he's not the only one with a boner for her in this game, but
yeah. Tech,
Tech, yeah. Ugh.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Tech is a great character too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tech-
but like
Yeah.
I just think it's really like when I first got to the end and you fight the Shadow Queen, I was like, holy crap, this is like
This is
I
fucked
was
up.
I was honestly like a surprised Nintendo was like okay with this happening. I mean, I know they own Intelligent Systems. This wasn't like a third party company stepping
Right.
in and doing this, but I was blown away. I was like, man, they're letting like their super like the brand of Princess Peach, who's this very stoic, you know,
Mhm.
kind of Barbie.
Boring.
Yeah, they're letting her like be evil for a second, and
Yeah.
like that was really cool to young me, and to adult me, frankly. Professor
No, I-
frankly.
She's jeez. I think she's great. I love that little twist. I think it's very smart, and I think it was brilliant. And it kind of disappointed me that in future games they just went back to doing Bowser again.
Yeah,
I This has nothing to do with like Shadow Queen, but one of the things that I especially love about this game, well, there's a few things, most things, but I love how like unique and different like all of the chapters feel in this game.
Yeah.
They're all in unique locations. Some of them even like away from Rogueport, and like there's the chapter where you're fighting Rockhawk and you're going like through, you become a wrestler and you're fighting all these fights, but at the same time there's like this other mystery going around, so you're like snooping around the like back rooms of the wrestling hall and like trying to find out what happened to all these missing wrestlers. And there's the one where you're on an island because your ship like lands there and you're going through caves trying to find missing pirates and the treasures and stuff. And then there's the one on the train, which is my favorite, where
Yeah. I
Yes.
love that chapter.
Yeah, where it's like an Agatha Christie novel.
yeah,
or
it's
something.
like film noir. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
You get to know
great.
all these characters on the train. You're not sure how many to trust. Like, I just like trains and video games. But
Can we
I
just
love
put that
that.
picture of Selfie from FF8 where she's just like, I like trains.
I've been doing that. Take the train.
What was I gonna say? I know that this game left a huge effect on a lot of people because there were a lot of people who were bummed out that in the new Smash Brothers game, in the boxing
Boxing
ring, Mario is not called the Great Gonzalez,
Yeah.
and in Paper Mario, in Project M, they give Peach the Shadow Queen costume.
Yeah.
So the fan base really loves this game, and it's
As well,
not
they
hard to
should-
see why.
We haven't talked about like the changes to the gameplay hardly at all.
Oh, go.
Another
We were too busy talking about how great the characters are.
Yeah. A cool thing that this game did on the overworlds, they really embraced that paper gimmick, and like Mario
Yeah,
can now
it actually
change.
the Japanese.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The Japanese title of the game is actually Paper Mario RPG. So like, it's not Mario Story 2. It's actually got Paper Mario in the title in Japan now. So
Yeah,
they really did embrace that paper mechanic.
yeah, you
It
can.
is a much better title.
Yeah,
so.
you can like turn into a paper airplane and like fly across like gaps. You can roll into a ball and like go faster and under things. You could like
Paper tube.
you could turn sideways and become flat and like squeeze through like bars like on the wall. It's very
In jail cells,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very funny and very unique, and I think it's cool. I like
It is. They came up with some cool ways to incorporate that into the overworlds. Even not just the stuff that Mario does, but just the way that like some of the worlds move. Like when you make a bridge appear, it like flips over page by page. You know,
Yeah.
that's really neat. I dig that. But gameplay. Probably my favorite thing about Paper Mario 2, honestly, is the like stage play aesthetic.
audience.
Where all the battles take place on a stage with an audience and curtains.
And things
the-
fall on you.
Yeah, things fall on you. The audience sometimes
audience
can
throws
get
shit at-
hostile. Yeah, they'll throw stuff at you.
Or
And you
they can throw items that heal you, even.
yeah, you can kind of win over the audience too. Like there's this tug of war going where you can do a stylish move and the audience will go wild, you know, and that'll help you like get some of your meter back. Like I really think that mechanic, like obviously timed hits are back and I love timed hits, so that's great. But I really think the stage play aesthetic and the way the audience plays with you does so much more to elevate every random battle to this, you know, this engaging experience. I just think that is so cool. It's definitely got to be my favorite thing about this game.
It's a very
You know,
unique
the
mechanic.
Hooktail eats the audience to heal HP, like yeah,
And,
or Crump like
when he
rolls up
sucks
the
them
audience in
into
a
the-
ball. Yeah,
Or he sucks them up into the gun and like shoots a bunch of them at you.
yeah, like that's just the game has a lot of fun with that, and I think it really pays off. It makes this game very fun to replay, because you know, even if you've beat this battle before, you know their attacks and stuff, something crazy might happen. You know, I really dig that a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a really cool level that they added to the game. And I like the curse face.
Oh,
Yeah.
he thinks he's cursing you, but really he's helping you.
Makes you turn into a paper boat and stuff.
Yeah, that's great. I fucking love Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door. It's my favorite. I love it.
yeah, I'm not sure honestly if I like this or Mario RPG more, because they both have so many things going for them that it's tough for me to decide.
I'll tell you my top 3 when we get to the third one.
I know what the
Okay.
third one is, but
I'm sure you do. It's not
I
that.
absolutely know what the third one is. Before we move on, does anybody else have anything to say about Paper Mario 2? No?
I liked bumping into Luigi and hearing what he's been up to.
Oh,
that's
yeah!
funny.
How did we
Yeah.
forget that? How did everybody but Phil forget that? Because that's awesome. I wish
That's
they would
so
make that
silly.
into a game.
Yeah. Well, what's great about it is he's a bit of an unreliable narrator. You're not sure. Like, every time you talk to Luigi, he tells you about his amazing adventures. His partner's standing right there, and you can get their story, too. And, like, you got the blooper that's been, like, deep fried because Luigi, like, knocked It's so much fun. And, like, even though they're just, like, there to talk to and for a laugh, they don't actually affect anything. They gave some really cool designs to Luigi's partners in his
They do.
adventure that he's on, like Torque, the Buzzy Beetle with like a
Oh,
wrench.
with a wrench on his back. There was the cherry bomb.
Yeah,
who
Jerry,
was
the
the bomb
cherry
that
bomb.
looked like a cherry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That is definitely. And then if you hear all of Luigi's stories, you can buy the book.
Yeah.
That's such just a little touch, but it adds so much charm.
That would have been great if when you beat the game, it unlocks Luigi mode and you can like play a condensed version of the game. as Luigi.
I want a Paper Luigi game where you just go through his stories or his adventure in the Waffle Kingdom. Like that would
Dude, I love like when you've heard Luigi's side of things, or I guess you can do it even before you've heard his side of things. You can talk to his partners and hear like, don't you dare believe anything that this guy says.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
Just
really good.
awesome.
That's really funny.
Such-
There's
They've added so many great like touches like that to this game.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The strongest thing that these games have going for them are definitely the localizations.
Yeah, they're so fantastic. The last like on this, it sort of ties into the localization, but the last thing I want to mention about Thousand Year Door is the Pianta Mafia.
oh yeah, they're pretty great.
They never come out and say that they're the mafia.
They're the mafia. His name is
Yeah.
Don Pianta.
He owns a casino. It's so fantastic. I'm pretty sure they were like Yakuza or something in the Japanese version. But
Which makes sense as well.
sure, but it's because they're like from Isle Delfino, which is like such an Italian sort of. weird
Well,
place.
it is Italian.
I know. I love the Pianta Mafia. It's so
It's
great.
fantastic.
It's so
good.
funny.
I love Thousand Year Door. I wish just Paper Mario or all the Mario RPGs in general would just get more love from Nintendo. Like I thought it was great seeing a Paper Mario stage finally in a Smash Bros.
Too
game.
bad it's terrible.
I mean, it's terrible, yeah, but it was great to finally
Yeah.
see it because none of the Mario RPGs get any love. So,
Yep.
uh,
I still want Paper Mario to be a playable character. But anyway.
let's move on.
I mean, it's not out of the question. We already got 2 Marios.
Yeah,
Yeah,
make
no
it 3.
shit.
How about 4?
Why not?
Maybe Mario.
Why not? Just like in Mario Kart.
Yeah, all the Marios.
Yes.
Well,
Paper Mario Kart.
Paper Mario.
All right. The next,
The
game
next yeah.
was released a year later on the Nintendo DS, a sequel to Mario and Luigi called Mario and Luigi Partners in Time.
This is your favorite one, right,
I'm
Matt?
not a huge fan of this game. I think it does some things very well, and I think it does some things really terrible awful. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna let somebody else talk before
I would have to say of all the Mario
Nobody else wants to
RPGs,
talk about it.
this is my least favorite.
I actually have not played this one.
maybe don't.
I own it. I got it just because I feel like I had to have all of the Mario RPG games, but I haven't played
Well,
it
I
yet.
got it because I loved the prospect of like Mario and Luigi teaming up with Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and like
It's a great
they
idea.
come back from the past, and like there's an explanation for it. Like now you're like, oh well, all that time they were playing tennis together, they
Yeah.
were actually brought back from the past, and that's just a cool thing. And there's like time travel involved, and EGAD, you get to see EGAD and Toesworth when they were younger, and like
They look exactly the same, but with brown hair.
it's like
Which
you
is just awesome.
fight Baby Bowser and Bowser team up, and there's like a Baby Peach, and it's just what a great idea. Too bad the rest of it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it doesn't. I feel like maybe I'm wrong because, like I said, I haven't played it. But the thing with the aliens and time travel, it seems like there are 2 stories going on there, and they just don't mesh together well.
It's a little screwy. I mean that it works together okay, but it definitely anytime you introduce time travel into something, there are complications.
Right.
But I don't know. My problem with the game is less on the story and just more like the gameplay.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's my problem.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't. This is just a personal thing. I don't think it's inherently worse. It's just my preference. I don't really care for having to worry about 4 buttons. You have 1 button for Mario, 1 button for Luigi, 1 button for Baby Mario, and 1 button for Baby Luigi, because it's like, okay, the DS has 4 buttons, that's great. But I just feel like it gets too hectic
Yeah.
when you're in a battle, and like you have to be like, okay, I need to hammer, that means I need to press this button. Oh shit, I got hit because it took too long to figure it out.
I can barely keep track of 2.
Yeah, well, it's like
Yeah.
the DS had 4 buttons, so let's use all 4 buttons. And like sometimes there would be parts where like the top screen would be Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, and the bottom screen would be Mario and Luigi. So now you're doing something on the top screen, you're doing something on the bottom screen, and it can get a little out of hand. I think that's one of the biggest faults, not the biggest, but it's one of the biggest faults
Yeah.
of the game.
I don't think it's like I don't necessarily think it's a bad design decision. It's just not to my preference. It's just a little too much for me to worry about. Yeah. The thing that I do think is a design problem is that I know Matt is going to be like, yeah, the bosses take forever.
Yeah, the bosses in this game are. I didn't
Like,
beat it.
first of
I didn't
all-
beat it because the bosses they last for goddamn ever.
First of all, they've done away with the bros moves, so you have to use these items to do the special attacks.
Like
And,
a
like-
chain chomp, which is hilarious. Like Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are like riding on the chain chomp, and Mario and Luigi are being chased by him, and there's a sense of humor still there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I understand that you can always get more of these items because they're mandatory for the battle system, so there's a way to buy them and whatever, But it made me. I was very stressed out, like playing this game. Like I was like, am I gonna have enough items for later? You don't want to. You want to be stingy with them. I'm always stingy with my items in RPGs.
Me too.
And that I didn't like that system. And like, I guess that might be what made the boss battles last so long. Is like I wasn't using the items enough, but. It's still a pain when you're fighting a boss. You've been fighting a boss for half an hour, and then you die, and you're like, great, I gotta fight the boss for a half an hour again.
Yeah. Well,
Because many of them have some sort of like I'm thinking of the giant Yoshi Shroob,
Yeah.
where you have to get Yoshi's to line up on the top screen to push this rock, and then that's allows you to damage him. Like they have these phases that you have to go through just to inflict damage on them. It's just on top of worrying about the 4 buttons, you got to pay attention to all this crap. It was just too much for me. I didn't find it fun.
well, plus the
I did beat it. I did beat the whole game, but
fuck that. The thing is that the difficulty jumps really quickly because there's this game doesn't have the simplistic number system that the Paper Mario games have. It goes back to enemies can have 400, 500, 1,000 HP, and you'll fight this boss. I think it's the boss Sunnyside, and then the Shroob with the candy. You fight. Those are the 2 bosses that you fight.
Shrew Brat.
Yes, you fight Sunnyside and then you fight the Shrooboid Brat. Okay, Sunnyside has 400 HP, and then the very next boss you fight, which it's a little bit later in the game, has 1,000 HP. So that's a pretty big jump from 400 HP to 1,000 HP. And because the bosses have so much HP and you don't do as much damage and you have to use all these bro moves, the bosses just drag on and on and on and on. I fought the stupid Thwomp Rock dude
Mrs. Thwomp.
8 times. Okay, and each fight took a half hour, 40 minutes, and that's not fun. I don't have fun pressing the same buttons over and over and over again. Oh, dodge that attack, hit that attack back. That's not fun to me. And I didn't beat it. I got to Bowser and Bowser Jr. and I couldn't beat him, and I was like, this is taking forever. Fuck this. I don't want to play this game anymore. I have better things I could be doing with my time.
Yeah, there's just a weird sort of lack of game balance, I think, that just doesn't it makes me really never want to play this game again. I probably should.
If you get good, you wouldn't have to do it a second time.
Yeah, increase thine skill level.
On the positive side, I think that the Shroobs are really cool. I think they have a really neat design, and I think they're kind of goofy looking, and They're neat.
Some of the enemies are
They
cool.
are goofy looking. I like that their planet is shaped like a mushroom.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. I think they're funny.
There is, as we've said, there is a lot of funny stuff in the game. There's this hilarious scene with there's a great character in this game too, Kylie Koopa. She's like a Koopa reporter, and she's great. She's got a lot of personality. She's really funny, and there's a hilarious scene where she's like talking to Mario, and like Luigi and the babies are like up to hijinks in the background.
Yeah, that scene made me laugh out loud. It's really funny. They like start chasing him with like stuff and like the hammer, and they're like messing with Luigi. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. The game's got a great sense of humor, but like beyond playing, like play it for that, like I said. But I just don't care for the battle system or much else about the game really.
Isn't Stuffwell the best character ever though?
I like Stuffwell.
Yeah, I got it.
I mean, I sense that you're being sarcastic.
No, I don't know anything about him. I'm just looking at pictures of characters.
I remember nothing about this game. I beat it, but I had to look up pretty much everything. You sort of like, oh, remember this character? Like, nope. I do not remember playing this game at all.
The real good thing that this game did, though, is brought back Pidgeot.
I speak Pidgeot.
Sure.
So yeah,
Don,
Mario and Luigi 2.
Don, you like this game, right?
I like it okay. It's not the best Mario and Luigi game, obviously, but I don't hate it like y'all do.
I wouldn't even go so far as to say that I hate it, but it's absolutely my least favorite of any of the Mario RPGs. It's the only one that I've played only once.
They had a good thing going and they squandered it.
Fucked it all
They
up.
had a good idea for a game and then they just dropped the ball.
Should have let you write it.
I know, right? Baby Toad.
I definitely see the complaints. Okay, hold on. Going from Mario and Luigi to the sequel, like that sort of like progression of like, oh, let's just add 2 more buttons. That's how a sequel should work. I get that it's a little bit more complicated. I personally didn't have too much trouble like managing all 4 of the characters.
Yeah, I don't think that makes it worse. It's just not to my preference.
It's just that on top of all the other problems.
Well, go on, Don.
I don't think that's so much a problem. Bosses, they definitely had a lot of health. Like I said, just get good. You wouldn't have to fight it a second time.
Yeah. That's one thing I do like about the Mario and Luigi games is that if you do the action commands, you can completely negate all damage.
Oh yeah, like you can dodge their attacks. Yeah.
Like ideally, not ideally. Hypothetically, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. The final boss, like from the very beginning, level 1, because you could just dodge all the attacks.
Yeah.
So like, it would be easier if you were like higher level, you're doing a little bit more damage and stuff like that to like beat bosses and stuff like that. Also, Ricky, you were saying like how you would be stingy with the items.
Yeah.
So, like if you're being stingy with the items, you can't really complain that you're not doing enough damage to them.
Sure.
They're there for you to use. Items are there for you to use them.
No, I fully get that, and like by the end of the game, I was very, I was like, all right, this is taking too fucking long, so I got to use these items, So like I did figure that out. I think my problem is more with the fact that it's an item-based system in the first place.
There's merits to it on one end. Like you don't like the change from Superstar Saga. Like it had like a sort of mana system, Bros points, BP.
Yeah.
So you would have to like drink syrup or whatever to restore your BP. But with Bros items, you just gotta have more of them.
Right.
So there's sort of like a different merit to it. But it's a preference thing. I'm not saying I prefer the Bros items,
Right.
but I feel like the way that system works, it was okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's inherently worse. I would not argue that it's like they shouldn't have done that. It's just that I don't prefer it personally. I liked it the way it was in the first Mario and Luigi game.
Does it come down to would you rather spend money or would you rather spend brothers points?
Well, wouldn't you spend money to get like syrup and stuff to
Sure, I would.
store your bros points?
Yeah, I guess
Sure.
that makes sense.
I'm not sure if Superstar Saga was like that. Was like Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, where like if you increase your stash, does it like
It did. If your stash like get you discounts, yeah, that's how it worked.
Okay.
That was silly.
Remember, but yeah, if you're not like increasing your stash like every time for like the bonus thing, like you're playing the games wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
You're not kidding.
But that's all I did for Luigi. It's like max stash.
That's ridiculous.
Luigi's already got max dash.
Useless in battle, just buying everything for like 2 coins.
I think it affects your critical hits, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, does it? Okay, I thought it was just
It's your luck stat,
charge
basically.
less.
Yeah.
All right then.
Lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Mario Brothers can talk, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Just Italian gibberish.
I love that though.
I do
Is that
too.
offensive?
Because you don't want them like speaking in full sentences. I mean, Super Mario Sunshine proved that was a terrible idea. So
Next, you'll be hating on Captain Lou Albano.
I love Captain
Nobody will
Wilbon.
ever do that.
Rest in peace, man.
Has anyone like seen that one advertisement for I think it was like a sports game with Mario just like talking normally for like all these full sentences and stuff like that?
Yeah, the like he did like a press conference for Mario Sports Mix,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "This game is great. You can do all kinds of things." Yeah, that was a bit weird, but, whatever.
I do remember the one with Wario where he's got the big hypno thing behind him and he's like, "Destroy Mario."
Everybody
I remember
remembers
that
that
commercial.
Mario.
Yeah, that was great. So yeah,
Mario and Luigi Partners in Time?
skip
Yeah.
it. I give this a completionist rating of skip it.
Yeah, I don't care for it. I don't think it's a bad game, but I
don't care anymore.
have
sir, I
no
don't
desire. I have no desire to replay it. Thanks for that, Tommy.
You're welcome.
There's like a little experiment I did with Amanda at one point where like I set up an emulator to have Amanda control like Luigi and a baby, and I controlled Mario and Baby Mario.
Yeah,
like with
I
separate
remember watching
controllers.
you guys doing that.
Yeah. It was incredibly hard. Don't ever do that. Maybe do it with Mario and Luigi, but no, not for
4.
4. Yeah, because like the platforming segments was like impossible for us.
You need to have another baby so you can have you and Amanda as the adults and the babies as the babies. That's where you went wrong.
Also name him Luigi.
No.
Lily and Luigi.
No, Lily and Green Lily.
Boy.
All right, let's move on to the next Mario RPG, which some people might not even consider an RPG. But when the fuck,
Super Paper
when
Mario?
the fuck else are we gonna talk about it? Super Paper Mario for the Nintendo
Super Pepper
Wii.
Poo Poo Poo.
This is probably my
Mario.
second least favorite.
Another game that I don't have too big of a problem with it. Maybe if I had played it again recently. My biggest issue with Super Paper Mario personally is like the 3D mechanic sort of forced me to like always switch
Be
to
paranoid.
3D.
Yeah.
Every 5
paranoid
seconds.
and
I
see if
hate
like
that.
I missed something.
There's you never miss anything. Like
There's never anything there.
That's my biggest problem with the game is like you have the ability to flip from 2D to 3D, which like sounds cool, and when you see it in like trailers and stuff, you're like, oh, that looks really cool, like a cool new way to explore this world. But it just made me really paranoid about flipping everywhere,
Yep.
and you really don't need to flip everywhere, and like that just drove me nuts. I will say, I think everybody should play this game because I think what it does well, it does really well. It's got a really fantastic story. But I don't know that you should need to play it more than once because, like, the actual gameplay I think is kind of
I think that the villains in this game are great.
Yeah,
They're
the
fantastic,
best part
yeah.
of the game. I really enjoyed
No,
it when I was
they totally
playing
are.
it. Like, there's definitely parts that suck, and I'm sure Ricky can name all of them.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it while I was playing it. I wanted to see it through to the end because I really enjoyed the story they were telling. I liked that you got to play as Mario, Luigi, Bowser, and Peach. I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool.
That is super awesome.
Mr. L is in it.
Yeah.
Mr. L is absolutely fantastic. The villains are great. Like, there's just the story and all the trappings of it, I think, are fantastic. And you really can't get them anywhere else. So.
The one thing that drives me crazy about this game is that all the new enemies introduced and the NPCs just make me want to gouge my eyes out. I hate their designs so much.
They are kind of weird, ugly, and square. Like, everything in this game has this weird art style to it where it's like square, like not pixel art, but just like
What are they
shape.
called? Pixels? Like
It's very
Pixels were the
it's like
party members.
Your helpers, yeah.
It's like somebody
Yeah.
got Pablo Picasso and then put him on MS Paint for an afternoon, and he brought up he came up with all these characters, and I hate them. I absolutely hate them. They're just so lazy and ugly and stupid.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird.
Those are really
I
cool.
don't care for like what David's talking about, just the basic NPCs. Like when you go to the town and there's just people walking around, they're all weird looking and square.
Yeah,
and
they're nothing like in the other Mario or Paper
they
Mario
don't
games.
they don't feel like they belong next to Mario.
No, they look like stick figures, and
Yeah, it's just weird.
yeah.
Well, you could say that about the like villains as well, but I love them.
You could, but they have the personality to kind of overcome it a little bit.
Yeah, I think like Mimi and Nastasha, even though they're square, they still have like design elements to them. Like
Right.
they have hairstyles and like outfits that are recognizable, not just like damn it, I drew a square.
I'm a square with stick figures,
Yeah.
hands, and it just looks bad. Yeah, but like Mimi and Ochunks and Nastasha are all. I mean, they all have really cool personalities to kind of overcome their okay designs. Whereas, somebody like, let's see, fucking King Sammer just looks like a fucking South Park character, and I don't understand why he's here.
Yeah, they really like don't mesh. It was going for this weird like interdimensional thing, but they really just don't.
Yeah.
Are you laughing because he does look like a South Park character?
I played the game for 15 minutes and I was like, wow, this ain't Paper Mario. I am playing this. So I just typed in King Sammer and he looks exactly like a South Park character.
I knew this.
Yeah, it's no good. Like I don't care for the art style, but oh well.
I think there's enough there to warrant one playthrough, and that's the the story and Francis.
Yeah, I think that the
Francis.
I love Francis.
Francis is the best.
He's good. I think everybody should play it once for the story because it's really good. They do some surprisingly dark and
Deep shit.
I don't want to say mature because it's still like there's nothing in it that's like I wouldn't show a child, but it's like there's a lot of stuff about like love and destiny and like nature versus nurture and
and that one part where
just-
Mimi spins her head around and it's really creepy and she
Oh
becomes
god,
a
that's
spider.
horrifying.
okay. Yeah, I wouldn't show that to a child. That's terrifying.
I
Nope.
would,
Nope.
But yeah,
because I like making children cry.
We know.
But yeah, I think that what is happening? The story just really, I think, really shines. I think the villains are all so likable, except Dementio is just an asshole.
Yeah, but
like,
you're not supposed to
Yeah,
like him. I
Dimension's
still
a
think
douche.
he's a great villain.
he is a great
He's a
villain, yeah.
villain,
And like
but
Black,
he's
Black is the best character
Black-
in the game. He's one of my favorite
He really is.
Mario characters. He's so great.
yeah, he's very like three-dimensional.
Yeah, even though he's not.
But
Oh.
I think his design is really cool. He's got that cloak that's like under the cloak is like dimension space.
Dementio?
Yeah. No.
Oh.
No.
All right, sorry.
Dimension's not under the cloak. I don't want to read that fan fiction. But I have such a love-hate thing with this game because I think the story and the characters are so great. But the gameplay, man, is so abysmal. Like Matt said, I'm sure Ricky can name all the bad parts of the game. You bet your ass I can. The game dicks with you. I swear to God, Intelligent Designs is like, we got them. They're playing our game. They're enjoying our well-written story. We got them by the balls. Let's have a little fun with them. Let's make them type in the word please into a text box 5 times. Let's make them write down a 100-character password based on rocks that they have to remember to get into this cave. Let's make them run on a treadmill for 5 minutes, holding left for 5 minutes. Like, we got them, you know.
Why would they think that something tedious is fun?
I don't get it. I hate it. It's so like it dicks with you. I swear to God, it's just so like when you. That's why I never need to replay it because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to run on a treadmill for 5 minutes again.
Yeah, but remember the time when
played
you're
through it.
going through space on the little Scorp thing and you're like shooting around? It's like a space shooter. That's cool, right? That part's cool.
Sure, I mean you fight Mr. L's like giant head. That's great. I'm
Mr. L.
glad that I played this game once because the stuff in it that's good is really good, but the
Yeah.
stuff in it that's bad is not. It's not just bad. It's like offends me. It's like you think I'm like a gerbil in a wheel. Like you think you can just make me do like whatever the hell you throw at me. This is bullshit. Like,
But don't you miss great characters like the Kragnons and Blarful
I
and
don't remember who Blarful is.
And the square and the circle.
Yeah.
and Helvetica and Garamond?
Good.
Yeah.
And
fonts.
Luigi.
Ugh. Not so
Lotso?
close.
It's not a trick.
And Wibby and Yebby.
And
Love me.
and Huey and,
Love
and
these.
Dewey.
They're fucking terrible.
Billionaire and his wife.
It just this is a tricky game because I want to recommend it, but I can't. Like in good conscience, recommend.
Watch somebody
sitting
play
through-
it on YouTube.
Yeah. Or like
Basically.
read the synopsis on Mario Wiki or something. There's a really good story in there. That's I don't know. I guess I would argue that
It's a really good story that nobody's ever going to experience.
A lot of people
Yeah, I
experience. I
guess
think that game sold pretty well.
Yeah. It's just
Doesn't mean they played more than 15
I mean,
minutes.
that's
of
true. Phil didn't play more
Yeah.
than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I played through the game once and then like never bothered to pick it back up again.
There you go.
it's just not like fun to play.
It didn't have the same charm as the previous ones. Like at all.
It was also really just.
It's cute. It's cute, but it's not like it's not, you know, Mario RPG or Thousand Year Door or anything like that.
It
So
was really disappointing. Like coming off of Thousand Year Door, they're like, "Oh, we're making a new Paper Mario
Yeah,
Mario
seriously.
game," and you're like, "Yes, I'm ready. My body is prepared for this. I've been waiting for this moment since 2004. Please, Nintendo, just put it
Please, yeah.
in me. Just put it in me." And then it's like, "What the fuck is this? What am I doing? I'm side scrolling.
yeah,
I'm
the partners are like not fun at all. There's no
They
like,
have personality
depth
for exactly
any of-
2 seconds when you
Oh,
first.
yeah, yeah.
Right,
That's another
exactly.
problem with Super Paper Mario. The freaking partners have 2 lines, and then that's it. That's like
Yeah.
it. Like he's a great
You never hear
character for
that.
2 lines.
Yeah. I love Thudley, but he has 2 lines in the whole game. Like the partners are just there. They literally like they took the cool things you could do in the overworld in Paper Mario 1 and 2 with like kicking shells and they're sliding across spikes, you know. They're like, we got to have that, so let's make these characters that let you do that. But there's no like RPG battles now, so that's all they do. You just pull them out when you need them. They're tools.
Right.
They're not characters. They're just tools. They're magic spells, you know. It's quite disappointing because so many of the partners in Thousand Year Door were so likable.
And
Right.
we all bought it. Who were the real tools? Who were the real tools?
Shit.
You
I didn't buy it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I bought it. Fuck you. Yeah,
That was sad.
yeah. I just wanted another Paper Mario, and I still don't have that. So, whatever.
But you have Sticker
I
Star.
do, but that's not next. Next is actually your third favorite.
Oh,
Mario and Luigi
and mine.
Bowser's Inside Story.
guys, this game's really good.
It is. I was very like I mentioned that I didn't like Partners in Time, so I was not too like excited for Bowser's Inside Story. I was like, yeah, I'll check it out, I guess. But it really surprised me. It's very good.
It's really, really good. It has, you know, Mario and Luigi in the title, but they are totally irrelevant to this whole story because this is all about Bowser. Bowser is the star of the show. He is oblivious to the plot and yet drives the plot. He is the
It
best.
is definitely like the closest Bowser's ever got to having his own game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like you take those little crying moments in Mario RPG and you expand that for a whole 40 minutes or 40 hours, and that's Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. It's just him being goofy and fat and overeating and punching enemies in the face, and it's fantastic. It's so fun.
It is. And they came up with, there's a lot of cool stuff that Bowser can do to get around the overworld while you play as him. Like, he can, like, do a dash punch that, like, he can jump across gaps that way.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can roll up into a spiky ball and climb walls. Like, it's a lot of fun. Just playing as Bowser, just being Bowser, doing stuff.
It's great.
It is a lot of fun.
I must say, I wasn't a huge fan of, like, the actual fights as Bowser. You, like, turn the system on the side.
Giant battles.
Oh, the giant
Yeah.
battles. I thought they were a neat addition, but I didn't. I wouldn't have missed them if they were.
I didn't like them because, like, I'm right-handed, and, like, the way that you have to had to hold it for the giant battles with the touch on the
Yeah,
left.
that's true.
Like, the touchscreen was on the left, so, like, you're blocking the entire right screen
Yeah.
with your hand. Like, I didn't care for that at all. But there were only 3 of them. Like, I didn't feel like they... I will say, this game suffered a lot from, like, minigame, like, over condensation. Like,
Well, because the whole time you're like inside Bowser, there's all kinds of like.
yeah,
Yeah.
every which way you're turning, you're like pounding on Bowser's like valves and blood vessels to make him do stuff. And they're all mini games. And like, it's not even
Bowser's body is ready.
it is, yeah. It's not even that the mini games are like bad. It's just there's so many of them that it gets to be a little
Tedious.
kind of
not-
gets sick of
When
them,
you're
but-
playing as the Mario Brothers, it's not like a proper overworld. It's
No.
like
yeah, it's like sides.
It's just get to the next mini game
Yeah.
and then play as Bowser again.
That's one thing I didn't really like, is that you're always stopping and starting and switching. Oh, now you play as the Mario Brothers for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then, now you're Bowser, and now you're fucking sickle cell anemia or something.
That was my favorite character.
Yeah.
I really like that scene where he comes and saves you from Corporal Paraplunk. That was just the best.
No, it definitely it's not a perfect game. I think it has a lot of issues with the pacing mostly.
Yeah.
There's, like Phil said, there's a lot of stopping and starting, and there's it's just kind of the 2 different worlds of the game being outside Bowser and inside Bowser is cool, but it does switch between them a lot to the point where you kind of like get stuck as to where you're going. But it goes back to like mana, basically.
Yeah.
Which I liked. I prefer it that way. And there were some cool new attacks, both as the brothers and as Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
Bowser had all of his minions that he could use. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Summon a bunch of magic Koopas and just pelt the enemy with like magic. That's really cool. That's a lot of fun.
I think the game is a little hand-holdy. Like, you get so far and it's like, oh, let's play as the other people now, and instead of just letting you figure it out.
Yeah, for sure.
So that kind of bothered me. I really like Brock Monsieur. I think he's really funny.
That's why they brought him back.
He is.
Yeah.
And
did this game did this game do anything for you guys to make you like Fawful a little more?
No, but I do think that because he's the main villain here, he's like more effective because I hate his fucking guts so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's more effective as the main villain than as the side villain because it's like I want to kick this guy's fucking teeth in. But
then he takes over Bowser again.
Yeah, which
I
is
didn't
so
ha-
stupid.
Which also
I
happened.
didn't hate him.
Partner in time.
No.
I didn't see. I didn't think it was stupid. I thought it was awesome in this game because like, you get the Dark Bowser, which is such a cliche. The dark character, and Bowser's like already a bad guy, so we have like
Darker
Bowser?
Dark Bowser.
I absolutely love like the beginning of the last fight with him. Like you're on top of Peach's castle that's all taken over by darkness, and there's like a swirling vortex of evil energy in the sky. And Bowser straight up like leans on the fourth wall. He's like, "Yeah, this is a great setting for a final showdown, tough guy." Like he's like, "You really did a good job here with the spooky atmosphere." Like,
yeah, just kind of giving him shit.
They kind of have fun with that, and I really dug it.
I think that the final boss is kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, where it's like bug Fawful.
Yeah,
It's
it's
his
just
giant
horrifying.
ugly face.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. I like that Fawful did go a little crazy, and they play with that. Like Crazier, he went off the deep end, so that was neat. I think Midbus has a pretty cool design, even though he's kind of lame and doesn't do a
I
lot.
like Midbus. I think I like his design. He's Bowser, but like a pig thing.
He's Pig Bowser,
Yeah, he's like a good foil for Bowser since like.
Right.
I mean, you keep running into him as Bowser, and he's trying to out Bowser, and I think that's cool. I really like Midbus. He should be playable in Mario Kart.
In Smash Brothers.
Not that. No, not. And I do like Brock Monsieur and Broggy, the dog.
Broggy, yep.
The cats.
I like the body enemies that are inside Bowser.
I like those too, but why are there so many like enemies inside of Bowser's? Like,
I know,
you might have bigger problems to worry about, Bowser. You've got like bloopers inside your body.
There's the red blood cell Goomba and the vein piranha plant.
Yeah.
And what else is in there?
Little pieces of meat, the tenderling.
Yeah, that's the best. Just little living pieces of meat. They're so goofy. Yeah, there's a lot of really funny stuff in this game.
What about cholesterol?
Yeah.
To talk about the sense of humor and the localization again, out of the park.
This game is a fantastic script. I was constantly laughing through this game.
Yeah, and I actually really like Starlo.
Yeah,
I think
they brought
she's.
her back.
Yeah, I think she's cute. She's fun. She does her job is just to like tutorial you, but
right.
She does it fine.
She's never really annoying about it.
No, and I like that Bowser calls her Chippy. Like he has no clue what or who she is.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's a really good game.
It's very good.
I think there's a lot wrong with it that I would argue Superstar Saga like did better in terms of pacing and like just the overall battle system. But I think like for the third game in that series, I think it was a very satisfying like conclusion to the sort of. I know there's a fourth one, but at the time, it was like a trilogy cap, and it felt like the stakes were higher. Like there was,
Yeah, it wrapped up a bunch of the characters who were still around.
Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. So.
Yeah, I think that the issues that the game does have, I think the script kind of overcomes it. It's such a joy to just keep reading that you want to keep going, and that's kind of the best thing that writing can do.
Yeah, well, even I never found myself like in Partners in Time. I was so tired of like fighting the bosses, they just lasted forever. I never found that to be too much of a problem in Inside Story. I feel like the whole time I was playing the game, I was actually having fun. So,
what fun from a game?
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
I think the difficulty ramps up a little bit better and a little bit more evenly in Bowser's Inside Story.
I don't know how we made it to the third game without mentioning this, but the music in this entire series, the Mario and Luigi series, is fantastic.
It's a lot of fun.
And it's by Yoko Shimomura, who did the music in Super Mario RPG.
Well, so there we go. That's why.
That's really cool, I think.
I think so, too. A+. That person.
Yeah, Yoko Shimomura. She's very talented.
Yeah. She also does all the music in Kingdom Hearts. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neat.
All right, let's move on. We only got 2 left, and time to get my defense cap on because I gotta do some defending of this next one. Paper Mario Sticker Star from the Nintendo 3DS. I really like this game.
I haven't played it.
And
I have not played
most people don't like this game.
This game was very, very poorly received. I also enjoyed it quite a lot, Matt, but I recognize the problems with it. So why don't we have Phil, who seems to feel very strongly about it, present his case.
All right. What do you spend like most of the time in RPG doing? It's fighting enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we make that totally useless and a literal waste of time?
It's not a waste of time, though, because you get coins from doing it, and you're encouraged to complete battles quickly. If you finish battles in one turn, you get even more coins.
You don't need coins, though. You absolutely don't need coins. You get stickers all over the place. You get much better stickers just on the street than buying them.
Sure, but
you don't need coins for Jack.
We can use the coins to run the roulette that lets you take extra turns in battle, which helps you finish other battles quicker and get more coins.
It's just a cycle. It's just you play the game so that you don't have to play the game as much. But there's no like. I don't know, like even if you just want to stomp through, it's like a Goomba, right?
Yeah.
Even then, like you have to like really commit and say, oh, okay, I'm going to use 2 jumps and a hammer, but oh, what if I can clear this quickly if I use my good sticker, but then I might need that for later. But it's so pointless because there's no real gain from the fights. The enemies are just obstacles, and since you can often walk around them, it's always to your advantage to do so.
I see what Phil's saying. Like I want to say I like Sticky Star, but I haven't beaten it, and it's just I don't know. I feel like with the way the battle system works, the stickers system in general, how it works, I feel like there's just no progression. I mean, that's the whole idea. It was advertised, like the game was advertised. Oh, you don't need the level grind or whatever, right? But then at the same time, I just don't feel like I'm going anywhere.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think that is a problem with the game. You don't really get stronger as you get further into the game. You just get access to better stickers. But even then, you still have the base stickers that do, the same amount of damage as anything else.
Right.
I mean, I agree. But in terms of like, you want to save this good sticker because you might need it for later. Almost every single boss in the game needs a specific sticker to beat anyway, so you don't really need like the super strong, decked out library full of awesome hammers to kill the boss. You just need, the scissors.
Yeah.
Or the
So even there's nothing really to be gained from getting better stickers or fighting enemies, as quickly as possible. It just seems like the game, like the actual turn-based role-playing game, is sort of an afterthought. But at the same time as that's it. There's no like RPG elements. You don't level up. You don't gain better equipment permanently. You don't even really have characters to talk to. It's just you walk through like a level with a beginning and an end. And as long as you get to the end, you could not fight anybody.
Sounds like a demo to a game.
Yeah, like this is like the one, like this broke my heart, and it happened twice. I went to like Desert 1, like World 2-1 or whatever. Mm. So straight away, like World 2-1, it's a desert, there's a Sphinx in the background, but that's not the dry desert. That's, there's nothing there. That's absolutely nothing. That's just like a stage in a platform game where there's no jumps to make and all the enemies are totally useless. And then at the very start of the level, there's like a shy guy, mariachi shy guy. So I think, this would be like a funny interaction. So I walked up to him and a fight starts. I was like, oh, okay. It's just another fight I have to get through. Use a sticker. Oh, he died. Okay. Keep walking on. And then later on, you go to the ice world. By I mean ice world, I mean like World 5-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a massive queue to get into a roller coaster. Think, oh, this is going to be hilarious. I'll go walk up and see what amusing dialogue these sniffets have who are queuing in. Nope, fight starts. Like, it's just like, where's the game? Like, why do you want me to fucking to play this game? Like, the fights don't amount to anything. There's no joy in exploring the world because it's not a world to explore. It's just a straight line to the goal.
You don't get levels. You don't.
Yeah.
The only items you get are to beat other small battles. So
yeah, and you get an item, you get something good, and then it's gone if you use it once.
So there's no sense.
I wouldn't say that's entirely true. Like with the levels, because you'll have to find stickers. Like I don't know, a piece of the bridge, and then you got to place down the bridge for you to get pass through. Sort of puzzling.
Or you can,
so you have to
use that fan to make the wind blow, so you can get the turbine or whatever to open the door, so you can go inside. There's some puzzle elements there. I liked enjoying or exploring the environments. I
think there were some cool levels. I love that roller coaster queue level that you're talking about. That was really funny, and I love the the mansion level where there's this ancient painting toad that lives there.
Yeah.
That's a really cool level. It definitely strips away like I completely understand why like huge Paper Mario fans who were going into this would be like, this isn't fucking Paper Mario. This isn't anything. There's no there's no NPCs
really
to talk
no
to.
story.
There's no, yeah, like I fully get that. And I was disappointed by that too. But I don't know. I had some fun with just seeing some of these environments.
Yeah,
for sure.
I had fun just playing the game, just getting to the end. I thought even though the battle system ultimately, I guess, amounts to nothing, I think it's fun. Like, I think using the different stickers is cool. I like the thing stickers, how they affect the world, how they affect the bosses. I like that the stages are kind of bite-sized because it's on the 3DS, so it's like a smaller game, and like it's definitely disappointing again coming off of. It's the second Paper Mario game since Paper Mario 2, and it's still not a proper Paper Mario game. Like, that's completely disappointing. But I think for what it is, I think I got some enjoyment out of it, and I don't regret playing it. I would play it again. I like it. I think it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely problems with it, and I think people have the right to dislike it, and I understand where they're coming from. But I, personally, don't agree. I think it's fine.
One of the things that okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, to me it sounds like if you're expecting an RPG, you don't get that
There isn't
sense
an
of...
RPG there. It's got like RPG battles without RPG
Yeah,
payoff.
it's all the trappings, but none of the
it's like
substance.
you don't have that sense of discovery or that sense of growth, and so there's no carrot to keep you going. It's all stick, you know?
Yeah.
Just to get to the end of the game.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. I guess that's why it's level based. So at least you get like level, 3-6 will have some sort of puzzle or challenge specific to that level.
Yeah.
Phil, would you have liked it more if it wasn't presented as a Paper Mario game and it was like a straight up Mario platformer?
I suppose so, but like there's no platforming. Like the entire game is predicated around the fact that you need to get the stickers to do the Paper Mario style RPG battles, but there's no depth to it, and without it the game falls apart instantly.
It really felt to me like they were like this. I could see how this could be a mark against the game. I could see how somebody would hear what I'm about to say and be like, well, yeah, that's terrible. But it really felt to me like they were kind of experimenting, like they were trying to see how much of an RPG they could strip away while still having the core sort of timed hits system,
Yeah.
And they stripped away like levels and experience and equipment and like everything. They've kind of stripped away everything that makes an RPG an RPG, while still having the random battles. Well, they're not really random. I mean, you run into the enemies on the map. But I was kind of, I don't want to say that made it good, but I was kind of intrigued by that playing through the game. Like, it was kind of like a incredibly minimalist RPG to me. And again, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that I found it interesting, and it made me want to keep playing to see what they were going to do with that idea. But I mentioned before that the bosses need like a specific sticker to beat them, and I don't like that. I think that's not good.
Yeah, well, especially since they don't like allude to that at all until you've already lost to them. The good thing is you can run from any boss.
Yeah, if you don't have the sticker you need, you could just leave. You could just leave the boss fight and go get the sticker and come back. So they don't punish you for not having the sticker. But the problem is, what happened to me a lot of the times was I wouldn't realize that I needed a certain sticker, and I would just like throw everything at the boss trying to kill him, and then I would run out of stickers and I'd be like, well, I can't do anything now. And I think that's bad design. If you're going up against a giant pokey boss in a baseball diamond, okay, I guess.
Didn't even realize that. Like, obviously, baseball doesn't penetrate my consciousness very much. So I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So I look up on the net. It's like, oh, hit with a baseball. Of course, I'm going to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, ancient Egyptian art of baseball. Yeah, it makes total sense.
No, I'm with you, buddy. Like, I missed that I needed the baseball bat for that as well. There's a fight with a big boo where you need to light the torch behind him. You need like something that sets the room on fire, which there's a couple stickers that can do that. But like, it just kept going dark, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? It's just I don't like these sort of puzzle bosses. I feel like they're counterintuitive to the whole Like, part of the fun of the game, at least for me, was experimenting with stickers and seeing what they do. And like, you can't really experiment with these bosses that have like one solution, you know?
Yeah, like going back to the battle system, I will say, like, with even though like I felt like there was no progression, it was kind of interesting to figure out what's the most effective sticker to like wipe out a wave of enemies, like a certain type of wave. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was fun in that regard, like trying to figure that out. But I don't know.
I think with the bosses, it would have worked a little bit better if they like at least warned you like beforehand, or at least suggested it beforehand. Like, as I mentioned, like they don't tell you what the boss's weakness, the sticker you need, until you lose, right?
You die.
Yeah, like Christy or whatever will tell you, and it's like, hey, maybe you should go get the baseball bat. Maybe you should go get the refrigerator. You know, it's like, that's like, okay, well, that's fine that you have to use the sticker on them to, like, weaken them or whatever. You can do the same thing with, like, Hooktail, even though it's not required with Hooktail. But there is an item you can get to weaken him, but you should have let me know that beforehand. You should have hinted at that.
Yeah.
There should have been, like, like, a character or something that lets you know, like, hey, I heard that Boo in there, he's really afraid of fire. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, that would have been nice, but I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. It's just handled really poorly.
You know, it was something that I thought was pretty cool about this game, actually, was, again, like Paper Mario 2, they kind of run even further with the paper thing. All of the like status ailments in this game are paper related. Like Mario can get crumpled or soggy.
Yeah,
that's really fun.
Which the enemies can get crumpled too. Like, I think that's pretty fun. Adds a lot of charm. I like that the Koopa Troopas, rather than like retreating into their shell to attack you, they actually like fold up into a shell shape. I think that's pretty cool. It's a tiny thing that doesn't make the tedium less tedious, but I think it's a cool touch.
Yeah.
Well, you like peel toads
like
off the wall.
Yeah. There's a
It's
stack of toads in the cabinet.
Let Phil talk.
Sorry.
No, I just want to say, I like that there's like, visibly things are made out of cardboard. Like you'll see like the folds. It's just a really nice looking game.
The bosses, like Bowser at the end looks crazy. Like he's like all cardboard and
Made of all these different pieces.
yeah. Which this is the game that Ricky was talking about, where Bowser has zero presence.
Yeah, this game suffered more than anything else, I think, from not enough Bowser. Like, he's
just in general suffered.
Yeah, there's no story in this game.
Yeah, there's really no like memorable NPCs or
The Wiggler, I guess.
enemies. Yeah, it just it's bare bones, and that's disappointing for definitely people who are looking for the amazing localization and sense of humor. There's a little of it, but not enough. And like I said, primarily it's because Bowser is hardly there.
Yeah. I like Sticker Star, but it's definitely not what people were expecting. And I'm still waiting for that true sequel to Paper Mario 2.
Yeah. I think Sticker Star has a lot of big problems. For me, it's a middle of the road. Like, in terms of if I was going to rank the Mario RPGs, all 9 of them, that would be right around the middle for me. Not the best, not the worst.
Alright.
And then
You can think of 4 games that are worse than this.
I would rather play Sticker Star than Partners in Time or Super Paper Mario for sure. I'm not saying it would be right in the middle. I'm just
All right,
you know,
not at the bottom.
yeah.
I haven't even played Dream Team yet. So.
Speaking of which, the next game on our list is Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I've never played it.
I played some of it.
Oh, I think Don's the only one.
I saw a screenshot once.
Yeah, I think Don's the only one who's actually played it.
It's a very pretty game.
Yeah, I didn't realize at first that it's actually hand-drawn sprites.
No, I thought it was all models.
Yeah, but the sprites look gorgeous, and especially in 3D, they do some really cool stuff with it. So,
this kind of makes me think that, like Star Trek movies, Mario and Luigi games are only good if they're an odd-numbered one.
But I thought just even-numbered Star Treks were
Well,
there.
yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
same principle applies.
Sure,
right?
sure,
Like every
sure.
other one is good, because I don't know. I'm about 15 hours into it, and I'm still getting tutorials from characters, and you can't skip them, and you have to listen to this bullshit. And it's just like, listen, I've played every game in this series. I know how to use a hammer. You don't need to tell me how to use this hammer. Stop telling me how to use the hammer. Yes, I know what a timed hit is. Yes, I know that if I press A here, I can bounce off of the enemy. And shut up, shut up, shut the fuck up. And it's like every 10 minutes, every time you get to a new area, it's some new exposition, and the game just does not let you play it. It lets it again. It holds your hand and tells you exactly what to do at every possible instance, and it's infuriating. It's really annoying.
I mean,
It's
do you-
a damn shame. Like y'all were saying, like it looks fantastic, and like I was super hyped because it looks fantastic, but it's not fun.
No, it's not. And it's so upsetting that it's not fun because I really wanted it to be, another Bowser's Inside Story.
Yeah, Luigi's Inside Story.
It's not even that, dude. I feel like it's not even Luigi's Inside Story. Like mechanically, like the whole like dream sequence part. Like half the game, more than half the game, you'll be playing as Mario in like Luigi's dream sequences,
Mhm.
right? That's like
Yeah.
you'll use Luigi in like with the touchscreen mechanics and stuff, like play with his nose and like
Right.
do stuff in the background using Luigi. But in the battles, it's just Mario, and then like a billion Luigis. But like you're still just controlling only Mario.
Right.
And like whenever you get fucked as Mario, then you and then like the previous Mario and Luigi games, like you could save the other character by giving him like a
Life-
one-up mushroom.
Yeah.
But if Mario dies, you're done. So
Yeah. That's
So
a-
Yeah.
it's that's annoying. I like it. Just feels like Mario's.
Mario's Outside Story.
Yeah, Mario's Outside Story.
The thing that bothers me the most is you have all these dream sequences that are supposed to be like funny and whimsical and stuff, but all that they are retreads of the stuff that you just did. It's like there's one part where you have to turn a fountain back on, and one of the characters is trying to help you out, and then there's something with a rabbit, and then Luigi goes to sleep, and in his dream, the guy that just helped you out is dressed like a rabbit, and he's carrying around carrots and trying to get the attention of a big rabbit thing. And it's just like, we just did this. Why do I have to do this again? Why? There's 30 years of Mario crap you could draw from, and we're redoing the thing we just did 10 minutes ago. Why? I don't want to do this. Stop telling me how to use my hammer. So that was disappointing.
Did you feel like in Bowser's Inside Story they didn't tutorialize as much? Because I mean,
I played it a long time ago and I don't remember it, but I mean, you know how in Bowser's Inside Story you would swap back and forth between Bowser in the overworld and then Mario and Luigi on the inside?
yeah,
And they would, get to a place and do like a mini game, and then you'd go back to playing as Bowser. Or, you'd fight a boss and then go back to playing as Bowser.
Mhm.
And, it kind of helped progress the story a little bit. In this, every dream just feels like an interruption, and I don't care about it because it has no bearing on what's going on in the other half of the game. And it bothered me. It took me away from the game. It made me not care. No? Okay.
I agree. I agree.
I wish I had played it so I would be able to add something.
Honestly, Rick, I thought you had played it. I felt
I-
like
He owns it,
When you were
I'm pretty
going
sure.
Yeah, I do own it, and I have played the demo. So that's it though.
Yeah.
God, Ricky, give it the times.
I know.
Fuck.
No, I really wanted to like this game a lot, and it's just not doing it for me.
It's disappointing to hear. Like, I didn't know how little like Luigi played a part in it, like the battles and stuff. Considering this game was released for the year of Luigi. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
His name is in the title. There's like a million Luigis. Like, you go into like his dreams and stuff, and then like the battles are all Mario. That's bullshit.
Well, no, you play as Luigi too in the battles, but it does something different. Like now if Luigi jumps on an enemy and then you press the button at the right time, instead of Luigi just jumping on it again, like 14 Luigis fall from the ceiling and hurt the whole group of enemies.
Oh, so
it's
there's
kind
more
of,
Luigis. Oh, it's actually better then.
Yeah.
It's better than I thought.
Yeah,
Never mind, I take it all back.
There's like a billion
Oh,
Luigis. and
it's my dream
you can
come
do
true.
stuff like, let's go back to Mario using his hammer. He'll be like holding a whole bunch of Luigis that make up the hammer, and so you slam into the enemy with a big pile of Luigis, which is funny, and I like it a lot. But again, it all unfortunately takes place in this dream world that is just has no bearing on anything, and so it ultimately just comes to, well, what's the point? So what? Like, if they had made it so that, something happens to Luigi on the outside, and suddenly there are a bazillion Luigis
Just running around the Mushroom Kingdom.
running around the Mushroom Kingdom, and like they're NPCs, and some of them are enemies or something, and it would just be absolutely goofy. And you can still do all this cool Luigi stuff in battle and still go forward with the plot. I'd be 100% in. It would be so funny. But they separate it, and it just doesn't work as well.
I shouldn't even bother because I haven't played the game, but I can't remember who I heard complaining about this. I think it might have been somebody that I worked with. They didn't like the giant Luigi battles, which are similar to the giant Bowser battles.
Yeah, they are.
But I understand the last boss is one, and they were like, "Man, that's lame," because no matter how much you grind or increase your stats or equipment or whatever, the last boss is just this completely different game mechanics.
It always bothers me when games do that, when RPGs do that.
It bothers me as well.
The final boss of Skies of Arcadia is like that, because you spend the whole game, beefing up your characters, and then you get to the last boss and it's a shit battle, and so it's like, well, what was the point? Or I don't know, something else where it becomes it becomes a shoot 'em up, and who gives a shit? I didn't get all my stats up so I could do a shoot 'em up at the end.
Yeah, exactly. You want to take the skills you've built throughout the game and put them to test against the ultimate bad guy.
Right. I had to grind and get this sword that I had to forge from 14 items that took me 40 hours to get each from this stupid enemy that spawns once every 4 screens. So why am I in a spaceship?
Yeah, I could see
why is this Gradius now? What happened?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I see that makes me want to beat the game less now because that annoys me. But
oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. But yeah.
You just ruined it for everyone.
It's like I said, it's a beautiful game, and I just wish that it had been done better.
I agree. It looks great. I mean, the music's also great too.
Yeah, the music's a lot of fun.
I just don't care to play it. It's just not fun. Some other stuff that annoys me about the mechanics, outside of the dream sequences, that meter where you do moves as Mario and Luigi.
Oh, and the meter kind of fills towards the middle.
Yeah. It doesn't really work in that game because you're not playing as
Luigi.
Mario, Luigi. Yeah, you're playing as Mario.
Yeah.
Most of the game. And the other thing that really annoyed me about that game is I believe the Bros moves, the little jigsaw puzzle pieces that you
Oh my god, they're terrible.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's really when they introduced it, I was like, oh my god, this is the stupidest thing.
They did that for one of the Bros moves in Mario and Luigi 3, and it was the most tedious part of the game. And so then naturally they brought it back so that you had to do it for every Bros move in Mario and Luigi 4.
What do you have? Run this by me again here?
So you go into a section, and there are blue blocks that are scattered around the area. And to get your new Bros move, you need to access each of these blocks and get a puzzle piece, and I think there's 10 of them. And so you just have to... You're stuck in this area looking around for these hidden blocks until you find them all. And, I mean, on the surface, it doesn't sound like that big of a pain in the ass, but, after you get 6 or 7, you're just like, where have I been? Have I gone to this corner yet? Oh, shit, I got that one already. Well, what's over here? And it becomes a terrible scavenger hunt. And I don't know. I would rather learn my stuff either by buying it at a store or learning by level. I don't, or give me one item. Give me one item that's really difficult to get. Make me fight a boss for it. But I don't know.
That does sound pretty annoying.
That's how you get all the bros moves. And
Every single one.
hold on.
It gets better.
The dream sequences,
I'm holding on.
in the dream sequences, you have to get different bros moves.
Because as we established, you have to do the thing you just did 10 minutes ago. So you have to get dreamy bros moves the same exact way.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All your 10 out of 10. Would recommend to everyone.
The one thing I do like is that the dream sequences are 2D platforming segments.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Yeah.
I mean, it's like the inside Bowser
Yeah,
segments.
Bowser's
Those were
segments,
2D.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a cool way to kind of keep it, at the Mario roots, but they don't do
Well,
it.
yeah, I also think that goes away towards separating the two like realms.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, okay, well I'm inside Bowser now, or I'm in the dream world now because it's 2D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's just not. I don't know. There's nothing to drive you.
Sure.
It's like
How do
the
you feel
game.
about the story, David?
Was it Antasma kidnaps Peach and brings her into the dream world or something?
Phantasma.
I don't even know.
I
I don't
gonna say
remember.
it's
I
not
don't remember
memorable.
the story at all. All I know is that this guy is not even as interesting as Cackletta, and he teams up with Bowser immediately, and I'm pretty sure that Bowser gets possessed again at some
He
point.
does.
So it's all leading up to the same thing that we've seen 100 times. So
Yep.
who gives a shit? I'll just play a better game in the same series.
I feel like they spent most of the development time just like making the sprites look good and not actually working on what would make a fun game.
Yeah. I mean,
Again, it's a shame.
It is, because they brought back a lot of cool stuff. Like Broke Monsieur is back, and Popple is back, and Kamek is in it, and they just don't do anything with them. They squander it all.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. The viruses from Dr. Mario are back.
Nice.
Kyle, how do you feel about Mario and Luigi Dream Team?
I have not played Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
All right.
Hi, Kyle.
Keep it that way.
Thanks for your input.
Oh, Kylie Koopa is in it again,
Nice.
too.
They brought back all the good characters from that series except Prince Peasley.
Yeah, exactly. And then they
the best character from that series.
Then they decided to do nothing with them.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
Sorry.
That's nice.
So I'm glad we ended on a high note.
Yeah.
So wait, if they brought Kylie Koopa back, then she's the weak link.
She's the reason the
It's
games
not-
are bad.
It's not even numbered Mario and Luigi games. It's Mario and Luigi games that have Kylie Koopa in them.
It's not even Papa's fault.
Waffle was in the first one.
Oh, and Bean people are back too.
Except Prince Beasley. Then
Yeah.
why bother?
Damn it!
Why bother?
And yeah,
What are
Starlo
we
is
fighting for?
Zero.
That's the tagline
Zero out of 10. Worst game.
for Sticker Star. Super Mario Sticker Star. What am I fighting for?
What are we done here?
Yeah, I think we're done. Do we want to like wrap it up or just like, and we're
I feel
done?
like we should talk about like I know, Matt, you want another Paper Mario
Absolutely I
game,
do.
like a real Paper Mario
Absolutely I
game.
do.
What other? I don't know. Like, would you prefer another Super Mario RPG or another Paper
I would
Mario
love
game?
to. Me and Ricky were working on a fake thing like this years ago. I would love to see a game that
Have Kirby in it?
that like
Cross.
blends them all.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love something that takes elements from all these games. Like I love, having weapons on characters and armor, but badges would be really cool too. And if you could put those on people, and that would be neat. I want to see Vivian and Mallow hanging out, and I want to see,
Yes.
yeah,
Umbella.
right. It would be so cool to just have like this giant rotating party that you can use, and I want to see what Booster's up to, and Valentina and Jinx and everybody, and I don't know.
I bet Booster and Valentina have like 8 kids.
That would be amazing.
One of them is Wario.
Oh god, I don't like that.
One of them is Waluigi. We finally find out Waluigi's backstory. He's
Canon.
Booster and Valentina are his parents.
yes.
Head cannon.
How old is Waluigi?
Who knows?
He
He doesn't have a backstory.
He's actually been like 17 this whole time.
That's awesome.
I would love to see another game like Paper Mario 2 or like Super Mario RPG. But honestly, I would be interested to see sort of another take on
Sticker Star?
the Mario RPG sort of formula. You know, we've seen all these ways they can do different things with. I'd be intrigued to see if there was anything else hiding somewhere that they could wring out of that idea. You know,
Yeah, as long as we don't have to collect 7 of something again.
I don't want to say
Real-time strategy.
I don't want to say that the fourth, Mario RPG series. I don't think that needs to happen, but I would be all for it. I think it would be kind of interesting if they went a different route. You know, maybe.
Strategy RPG like Fire
Yeah,
Emblem, or
Fire Emblem with
you
Mario
actually
characters.
have to time.
Mushroom
Yeah.
Emblem.
I think that would be awesome. I actually had I never really did anything with it, but I had sort of an idea for like a strategy RPG where you would pick like a commander from the Mario universe. So you'd have like Peach, and she'd be in charge of all the Toads, and then you have Bowser and all the Koopas, and then you have like Goomba King and all the Goombas. And King
Would that be
Boo-
more like Advanced Wars?
I guess. I don't know.
Guys. Fire Flower Emblem.
Awful.
I never put much more thought into it other than like the armies. You know, Rosalina could lead the Goombas.
Wart.
So you just want a new thing?
I would also love to see a Mario and Luigi game where Wario and Waluigi are part of your team.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Then they can bring back the 4 buttons.
Yeah, well, I mean that would maybe suck, but maybe have like 2 separate story modes, and then at the end they like team up or something.
That would be great to have 2 separate, and maybe they're working against each other.
Yeah.
This is starting to sound like Sonic Adventure 2.
And then at the
Gosh.
end Bowser gets possessed by something, and they have to beat him together.
It's possessed by
Dr. Eggman.
Luigi and Waluigi.
So it's just Mario and Wario. Bowser gets a bucket on his head.
There's already a Mario and Wario.
It's just Bowser, but he's got a bucket.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
You can't jump on it.
There's a giant mouse screen.
The last boss. The last boss is Meowser.
Yeah.
Oh no.
God.
I think a Wario and Waluigi like RPG just by itself would be awesome. But
That would
I
be pretty cool. Yeah.
it wouldn't sell.
No, I mean I would buy it, but
They could do a lot with like the slapstick in terms of like Superstar Saga has a lot of like, oh, you flatten Luigi like a pancake, you know.
yeah,
I feel like they could really push that even further with Wario and Waluigi.
yeah,
So
be great, and have them yelling at each other and stuff. And
Well, they talk, so like they can actually yell instead of going.
I mean, do you want them to
Well,
though?
I mean, crazy eyeballs.
Or just another RPG with Bowser in a starring role would be great.
yeah.
Bowser and Peach RPG.
Because whenever he's in your party, he's the star of the show.
Oh
And
yeah.
Luigi get kidnapped, and so do the Koopalings, and then Bowser and Peach team up.
Best game of all time.
Whoa.
Bowser and Peach inside story.
What
Wait,
if
Whoa.
no, wait,
whoa.
no. I take it back. I take it back.
Oh, boy.
Bowser's Peach. Bowser. No.
No, we're done. We're done with this conversation.
You're making it worse.
I think we're done with this
Stop helping, Matt.
podcast pretty much. Anybody else have anything they want to?
Oh,
That's it. I'm glad we
Alright.
stopped to discuss it.
I think we about covered it. Yeah.
Did we go through like everyone's favorite Mario RPG?
God.
I mean,
We
it's,
should.
it's pretty obvious, but like let's just go through.
Yeah, let's start with David. David, what's your favorite?
Yeah, Dave,
Mario RPG. Easily.
What? No, I hadn't picked that up at all. All right,
Huh.
Phil, what's your favorite?
Thousand Year
All
Door.
right, good choice.
Excellent
That's my
choice.
favorite as well, so we'll skip me. Jess, what's your favorite?
I would have to say Mario RPG as well, with like Thousand Year Door coming in very, very close second.
Bro Fizz,
So,
Jess.
Yes.
It's very difficult for me to decide between Mario RPG and Thousand Year Door.
I think we have a couple runaway favorites though.
Yeah.
Don, what's your favorite?
Charles Barkley showed up in Jam Guy.
No.
Hell
pretty-
yeah.
that's pretty
Chapter
good.
1 of the Hoops Barkley saga.
What's your favorite Mario RPG?
That is an RPG that does like use like a more
Basketballs.
active.
Yeah.
Yes, basketballs, but a more active like battle system
Yeah.
akin to Paper Mario.
Yeah, it's pretty ripped straight from like Mario RPG, although it's not balanced in the slightest.
No. Are there timed hits?
Yeah, there are timed hits, but it's like the first like magic skill you use is way better than all the others.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you get anything above a 3-pointer?
You can get. Well, there's one character who just shoots a gun. That's pretty good.
That seems cheating. That doesn't seem like a fair game.
Basketball ain't a fair game.
I'll say Paper Mario. I love Paper
First
Mario.
one?
Yeah, the first one.
Cool, man.
Nice.
I think that game needs more.
Dons.
Like, sure, but like I said earlier, like I feel like people often write it off because the second one is so great, but the first one's really great too.
Yeah.
So,
Yay! So there you go. That's the Mario RPG series.
Tell us you.
They range from great to not,
Tell us your favorites in the comments.
or don't.
Yeah, you're not going to. You're not.
Tell us why we're dumb in the comments below.
yeah, tell us why you love or hate Partners in Time or Sticker Star or whatever, and we'll.
And Charles
We'll,
Barkley, Shut
read
Up and
them.
Jam something.
Guys,
Gaiden.
Yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
chapter
Tales of Games presents Chef Boyardee, Sparkly, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, Chapter 1 of the Who Sparkly Saga.
And Knuckles.
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Good night.
Good night.
Uh,
everybody.